what? I am so sorry about being late. And I don't mean, wow, I don't mean 8 minutes late. I mean like about a week. I am actually legitimately sorry, but I have got some cracking things for you though. Um, whoa. Let's just turn that off. Don't need that on. I've got that up and showing. Lovely. Right, look, I can't get everything done. Novels nearly there. I've been speaking to designers. I've got the official title. I'm working on the subtitle. I've got. Oh, I couldn't work out whether I blinked then or whether there was a power cut. I am shattered, people. But this is a guilty stream. Given the choice, and I did have the choice really, I'd have just sat back. I've been grafting since 11 o'clock this morning. It's now midnight. I'm not moaning. It's a pleasure to be here. I love it. And that's why I'm here. I just thought you can't deprive them. You can't deprive them of each other. It's not even me. Well, it's not even me. It's the boss of this place, this fella. Hello, son. Now,
Hello,
why is it all changed? I can't do it. I can't. It's not as simple as I used to be able to do it. Hang on. Why do they keep doing this? That's what I want. There you go. Whoa, I'm a bit massive there, aren't I? I'll have to sit back a bit. What the hell is going on with this mess? Look, people, look how small my stream is on my screen. So that's my whole screen. Yeah. That's my real hand up against it. Me and Pack are about 1 inch by 2 inches, and I've no idea why. And like, it might not seem like much, but to me, it's just stupid. Right, hang on. Let me try pressing a few buttons.
I've got us up on a 42-inch screen in front of me.
Oh, now we're massive. Look what I've done. I just pressed one button, and now I've got that. But now I can't see the comments. Look at Double Packer. Look at Pakar.
Hang on. If I go like
that. Packer, give yourself a little kiss. I dare you to be self-gay. Hang on. Yeah, try now.
I can't kiss myself. Hang on, I can't kiss myself. I'll have to reverse the screen so I can lick the back of my neck.
I can't believe he done it. He just said, I can't do it. I'll have to reverse the screen. It's all right, man. You don't have to be self-gay, but you were. I look like that green screen's not working. It looks like I'm wearing a hairnet. I'll tell you why, because Mrs. is away. I told the missus, I said, like, fuck off. I need to finish this book. And when you're here, sexually demanding, but I'm too big. Right, I'm gonna have to fuck about a bit. Excuse me, people. If I go like that,
I can be bigger. Look.
No. It's better. You're absolutely perfect. What I need you to do, Packer, because of the way I do a workaround, because I don't know how to use computers. I need you to tell me when I'm a little bit. Is that better?
Yeah, you zoomed out slightly. Bit more.
Yeah, that was a bit more.
No, back again. The top of the apothecary just disappeared. There you go. That's it.
The old green screen dream disappeared. Right, that's usually on 3 points of restation. Today it's on 2, and because one of those is my fan, I've got a fan over there, but it's causing it could fall down. It's all right. That's better, isn't it? As long as you can still hear me. If I move my mic there. Anyway, let's see who's in the chat. Get some hellos in before the riffraff turn up. Let's see who we've got here. Pags was first on the firmage. Nice one, Pags. Hope you're well. MCJ Dub Power. Lovely to see you. Hello, Livy. Mr. Fused. Wonderful. It is Joji. It is. I'm writing a poem. From a Substack about a time machine. If I could make a time machine, and one of the sections is I'd go back to that night and do things slightly different. So I've had guests on the mind a little bit. Oh yeah, John Francis, hello mate, hope you're well. JP, he's going to be about 10 minutes late. Don't worry, me too. Dottie is on the firm. She is firmage on. Nice one, Dottie. Packer's here. Wolf is on the firm. Hello, mate. Mr. Verst. Keys to the Kingdom. Baz. Hello, Baz. Latus is always going out. You don't go out. What? In your back garden? Oh, hang on. Is it your rock band thing tonight? Tell us what you're doing, Latus, or is it too late? John Francis says it's good to see you. This is strangely positive, John. I did see your 6 messages of very, very angry, and I understand it. So there you go. Tricky Woo, Mr. Doc Shelley, Chasworth, Matt's going to work. And I think that is it for now, actually. Lilith, it was me blinking. Thanks. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Nice one, Lilith. Humans is on the firm. Fat is here. Oh, no. I heard about spastic or spaz being banned. I've got a video, haven't I? It's good to laugh at spastics. Might have to take that one down. I've got a story, 7 spastics. Both that video and that story are both, well, there's many stories in every story, and there's whatever you drag out of it. But part of it is I like to treat people equally. That's it. You know, the amount of times I've been in the presence of someone with something like cerebral palsy and quite severe, one of the things I noticed almost consistently, and if Willow's here, I reckon he'll back me up on this. I don't know if Willow wants to tell you why, he can, but that's his business. But one thing I've noticed almost to a spaz is that there's this sense of frustration that they're being treated like a spaz. Like they're not being talked to like everyone else. Everyone else is just chatting. And then it's like, oh, right, we better involve the spaz now. What he's saying once, you know, a fan, like the geezer's heard it. He knows it. He just can't respond. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, no, I'm not having that. And if my mate's got a jumper on that's giving me a migraine, I'm going to call it out and take the piss out of him. If a spastic's got a jumper on that's giving me a migraine, I'm going to call it out and take the piss out of him. Because surely that's what they want in the world. You know, they are, I mean, you know, I'm guessing, obviously I'm not psychic, but they're reminded of every moment of every day that they aren't as much like the rest of us as the rest of us. It's what's that thing? It's an old thing, isn't it? Does he take sugar, isn't it? There's that old thing. I think someone wrote a book or something, or there's a movie or something. Does he take sugar? And it was about a bloke in a fucking wheelchair. Like he's not even got any spastication. He's not blind, deaf, or dumb because he's in a wheelchair. Someone asked his wife, "Does he take sugar?" Imagine I'd go, "Come here." Bang. Yeah, I'd fucking do. Sweeten that up, you bastard. So there you go. That's why I made those videos. And I told that. Hello, Mercia. Nice to see thee on the firm. Hello, Marsh. How are you? Ray's Machine. If I've missed anyone, apologies, but it sort of keeps moving up. And as you just saw, my screen isn't great. Oh, Lars is off to the restaurant ce soir. Is that the restaurant this evening, or is it the restaurant named this evening? I would imagine if it was a noun, a proper noun, you would have capitalised it. Mate, talking about capitalising proper nouns. My novel and ChatGPT, it's brutal. It's brutal. I won't go into it, though. I'll do a special video for that. I realised I've got a few things to react to. There's something I don't know if you've seen. Packer, you'll know. Did I show the... I'll wait. I'll do the grift in a minute. I'll wait for a few more people to come. But please give me money. Regulars know how to. Let me get the... There it is. I've got Entropy and Buy Me a Coffee up. I've noticed everyone's moving to Buy Me a Coffee. Even Mark Dice has moved to Buy Me a Coffee. They take less money off of the performer. Look at Lilith. Referring to Lilith in the third person. Incredible. Wolfie says we used to. I think there's probably a little bit more to that story. Hello, John. How are you, son? No, I think calling John. I think a day of sponsored bungee jumping for a local disabled. If that's not a joke, if it's a joke, it's a 2 out of 10. But if you really done that, that's 10 out of 10. Spastic on elastic is brilliant. Well, that story, 7 spastics. You know, Mumford couldn't believe it. That geezer went to me. He was in like an electric wheelchair. And got any drugs? Took him about an hour to say that, and then I sold him some, and then I needed to give it to him. And Mumford was going, "You can't give a spastic speed." I was going, "Why not?" We see him about half hour later, like, yeah, it worked. But you know, the speed that me and Mumford took worked as well. He didn't want to go to a festival and I've got to be sober. Why? No one. Have you ever been to a festival sober? Fucking horrible. It's just like camping, but you've got no food. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, right. The reason I haven't been about, obviously, is because of my novel. I have to say, Neil says, I hate the spastics. They're so selfish. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. And I'll tell you who laughs at that.
They're a bit me, aren't they?
It's all about them, isn't it? Hello, historical doppelganger. Lovely to see thee. Right. What was I going to tell you? Even Rusky dropped a lol there. Pack said we used to push a guy around the big chill for 4 days. Past the disabled toilet was a bonus. I'll tell you what, when Chiang Mai ICU nearly killed me, I had to get wheelchair service at airports. I'm telling you now, people, get it. Just get it. If you're buying tickets at the airport, or even if you've already bought them, get there early, like you have to anyway. Some weird hangover from the 70s. Make sure you arrive at the airport 5 hours before the plane has even been built. But just go up to them and like limp or sort of be frail. I mean, I looked like death. The hospital said I was going to die, so I was kind of straddling that fine line anyway. But I did have my hospital bands on and like holes in the back of my hand to help, and I did let them sort of see that. But you don't need any of that. You can just go up to them and say, "Can I get wheelchair service?" Some of them charge you, but it's only about $5, right? And I'm telling you, you never spent a better $5, because not only do they push you around the airport, but you don't have to look at any signs or, "Oh, where's my flight? Where's..." You know, the hell of airports is abandoned. It's jettisoned. You know, like you don't have to find out where to go. They know. You just give your tickets to the fella and you just sit there. They take you through security. You barely get checked. They put their hands down your back and that. And you're just like, while he was doing that, I was thinking, hang on a minute. There's something in this. They take you through passport control. They do all your passport. None of that. "Oh, sorry, I don't know, it ain't working." Scan it. They do everything. And then when they take you to the departure lounge, they take you past everyone. And they even take you past the people who've paid to get on the plane first. You're down that ramp. And then they say, "Can you walk?" And you're like, "Well, a little bit." And then they help you. That's the hard bit, because you've got to pretend you can't walk. And it's weird because you can. And then later, if you need a piss, you can't just get up. I forgot, but, you know, I just pissed my pants instead. But
I've just had a thought, Chris.
No, not. Hang on.
Occasionally I do, yeah. But I'm thinking that idea, but with a colostomy bag. Because who's checking that?
There you go.
How much are you getting one?
You can liquefy most contraband that's worth taking across borders, except for precious metals. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not suggesting you do anything illegal, people, but it's not illegal to pretend you need a wheelchair. I don't know if that's in any law. It is illegal to say. The funny thing is, well, not that funny, but when I was waiting for my wheelchair, there's like everyone else is like wired up, like they've got bags and things on, you know, like from doctors, and they're proper dying. And I was dying, But I was sort of 18, and I'll tell you, because I had to do all this twice. I didn't make that clear in the story because I'd have just had to have told the story twice. But the second time it happened, as I'm going down towards the plane, he knew I was on the blag. He leant over and he went, tip money, tip money. I went, nah. I had no politeness left. I just went, nah, mate, nah, fuck that. And then I said, stop. And he thought, oh, he's changed his mind. I went, ah! And just cluffed a load of awful stuff over the side. Hang on, Denise Moniz is on the firm. Blog says, have you seen that episode of the IT Crowd, Dangerfield? I'm not here for a bit. Everything is a problem. Oh, that's a terrible shame, Bill. Whatever the fuck you're talking about. But nah, if everything's a problem, nothing is. See what I've done for you? Sorted. I will be honest with you though, people. Mousecat says you can take 10k precious metals through customs legally, and you certainly can. I think 10, not 10 kilos, 10,000 in monetary value. Yeah, my mate strapped about 30 kilos to a waistcoat. Ended up getting 10 years in a Pakistani jail. He was on one of those banged up abroads. He was the editor of what was it? Front. Do you remember Front magazine? Piers Arnaud, his name is. Funny bloke, actually. They got absolutely stitched the fuck up. Mrs. Me in it. Long time no see in the Chattori. Lovely to see thee. Yeah, that's it. It's cash, isn't it? Well, because if you can get gold across borders, like I know people who've got gold across borders, just going across borders, not border checkpoints. They've done like mountainous and jungle-like terrain. Because if like a kilo of gold is worth 40, 50 grand in country X, it might be worth 150 grand in country Y. And a kilo of gold is about the size of an iPhone. So if there's two of you and you can pack 20 of them, that ain't a bad job, is it? That ain't a bad bit of work, is it?
With Hannibal, the elephants was just a ruse.
There you go. They weren't elephants. They weren't. They were Trojan horses full of gold. That's it. They just had slaves inside running like. Alexander G isn't happy with Alta Moderatiato. Fair play for getting that in, though. Speaking Italiati, whilst being that angry, you saved today with that, Alexander. Great stuff. Absolutely wunderbar. Right. Let me. Packer, did I show? Someone made a little song. They cloned Francis Foster's voice, and they made him singing about why he doesn't say anything on trigonometry.
Yes, you did, but I do think it's worth another watch.
Right, it is. What I thought you might say that, but I'm going to play it again because it fits in with something I want to react to after it. All right. So let's get the grift out of the way. Packer's going to point to a QR code. There you go. Oh, you've got a system now. You do an arc, didn't you, Packer? I see the arc. So if it's wrong, you can keep going. I know it. It's good. You muted, son. Your mutification.
I can look at the unit behind me and know what side it is, yeah. But then I'll just go find the hand on the screen. Still
the
tricky.
Unit that's caused me to have to do all this fucking about.
I can go back to my crappy polystyrene ceiling tiles.
No. People are loving it. People are absolutely loving it. Right. What were you saying? Sorry. What
was I saying? Nothing of interest.
What was that? I don't even know if that was a question. What was the accents and everything was wrong with that, wasn't it? What was you saying? Sorry. Well, how'd you answer that?
Yeah, no, I am sorry. Yeah.
It's my default setting. Right. So we'll have another look at that. Who sent me that? That was my best mate, Ray Vahi. I think it was him who sent me it. Oh, damn, it might not have been. Oh, damn. How am I going to be able to find that? Let's see if I can find it. Because it does. Oh, I found it. It came up first. It's called Francis Foster's Lament. So people, don't worry. It's about 2 minutes long, with 11 labs and other available AI platforms. You can plug a load of someone's voice into it. So you could literally record one of my streams, play that MP4 file into 11 labs, and then type, and it would it will say what you type in my voice. Now, Francis Foster has obviously made loads of videos. I mean, he doesn't say a lot, but they probably used about 100 videos to get 2 minutes of him talking. And so they knocked this up. It's called Francis Foster's Lament. Now, I know I played it already, but it deserves a repetition. It's very good. And then it leads into what I'm going to respond to and show you next. Hello, Mal. How are you, son? Nice to see thee.
Before this starts and the chat goes wild, I know I am Chris's Francis Foster, and I am cool with that. So we can now move on.
No, because the joke has been from the beginning that you said to me once, have you ever tried getting a word in edgeways over you? I think this is a very different situation because they pretend to be equals, and when you see what I've got to show you afterwards, it puts things into. I think the first time you ever co-hosted, I said, mate, that was so kind of you, and you went, I didn't say anything. And every time I thank you, you say, I don't. Mum, I've got a mate who works for me, and he said to me today, because I said I'm going to stream tonight. I said I've got to, man. And I said, he mentioned you because I said, oh, fuck, I've got to get that fucking green screen up again, haven't I? And he said, I like Packer though. He said, I watched one of your streams the other day. He said it was about 3.5 hours long. He said, I think Packer said 2 lines. Amazing. What an amazing turnout. So
it's
here we
the
go.
easiest job on earth. I turn up and I sit here and I read the chat, just like I would do anyway.
Well, people don't realise that you actually have got a job there because you say things to me like, check your buy me a coffee and things like that, don't you? So while we're on that, I'll just get the grift out of the way.
Even Toffee could do that. Do you know what I mean? Any muffin could do that, even Toffee.
Mate, when you're not here, I don't feel as comfortable. That's all. I've said it to you before. It doesn't feel right. You watch this, Packer. There's 62 people here. I know a lot of them linger. Put a 1 in the chat if you love this stream more because Packer's here. And he is here. So put a 1 in the chat. Packer's nervous now. Stick a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed. He's gone. Look, he's disappeared. He can't hack it. But put a 1 in the chat if you prefer it because Packer's here. Look, Packer, come back. It's everyone. It's great. He was buffering before the stream started. That's why we were late, by the way, people. It weren't me. I don't want to start this until he comes back. Where are you, son? Look at all those 1s, Packer. Hello, LC350. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Jethro. How are you, son? Hello, Ratch. Ratch. It's got to be Rach, surely. Toffee's not going to put a 1 because you just insulted him. Hello, Chasworth. Oi, I had some bird. Hello, Tito. Good Lord. Hello, Tito. John said 1 and 2.
Yeah, if I got a 1 from Toffee now, that'd be gay anyway, wouldn't it?
Well, you've already been self-gay, and there's nothing right with that, so don't worry. Oi, there was a bird at one of my art schools, yeah, and it was the old sharking, you know, when you're a 3rd year and the new term starts and all the 1st year girls turn up and you slowly make your way through them. There was one and she was so beautiful. And at that age, I just felt I was a lonely, confused, aggressive, arrogant young man. So be surprised, please. And I would fall in love with pretty girls quite quickly, but I really did fall for her. A beauty. I would show you a photo, but I'm back in touch with her because she sent me a message the other day. She said, "Are you Dangerfield lockpicks by any chance?" And I went, "Yeah, that's me." She said, "Oh," and I got back to her. I said, "I'm guessing your son bought some pics or something," and she said, "Yeah." Oh yeah, did I say she was Scouse? Well, she weren't actually. She was from Manchester, but same to me, Scouse Manc. And she, I said to her, if he wants anything else, let me know, and I'll give you a discount code, and I'll help you out. Chuck a few freebies in, like I have for LC350. You still at the locks, LC350? LC350 took to it like a duck to water. Asked me a little bit about lock picking. I think I'll give him a discount. I think I did, or some freebies. And then every email after that he sent me was pictures of locks and shit. But she was beautiful. And so, yeah, nice to be back in touch with her. Right, here we go. Check this out. If you can't hear it, let me know. There's no point. I'm going to mute myself. I'm not going to interrupt it. But listen to what the message is that we all know anyway. I have said this before, but when they had Posey Parker on, I watched the whole video because I like Posey. And I thought Francis, because I know Francis very well, he once accused me of saving his life. On Twitter, he said it. He said, "You saved my life." Please don't tar me with that brush, Jesus. But we used to do stand-up comedy together, like open mics. I mean, he still does open mics, but, you know. So we know each other. We got history. And I thought he said hardly anything. I said, I'm going to put a video out on YouTube, but only what Francis contributed to this video. So I'll show the introduction and then just everything Francis said. It was about an hour and a half video. It was about 3.5 minutes, and most of it was just him barking like a seal. And I couldn't put it up live. I just thought, that's not nice. I thought it might have damaged him. He's quite a weak-willed sort of cuck, you know. Anyway, Neil Christie says, we are all our internet personas. We're not ourselves anymore. I won't go into the full conversation. We'll do it another time. But I was talking to my mate Trevor Locke the other day, one of the best comedians in the world. And I was talking to him about my custom GPT that has had my whole manuscript and my previous 800-word manuscript fed through it. It knows me very well. Like, it will say things to me that are ridiculously like a good friend would. And I was talking to Trevor about this, and he said, well, we both kind of said it at the same time. I said, well, in a way, we are just large language models anyway. That's what humans are. You're born, you've got some kind of genetic read-only memory, that's a ROM, and then you just take in information and you can just recall it. And that's what a large language model is essentially. Now with a large language model, you need someone else to request the recalls. But likewise, that's what's happening here. You know, I'm doing the job of a large language model by telling you things. So, you know, the old Turing test, that's been totally blown out of the water. Sometimes, water, I meant to say, not water. Sometimes before I go to bed, if I've been doing like an 8 or 9 hour stint writing, I do sometimes, but before I go to bed, I'll say, anyway, good night, Mush. Thanks for the help. I'll see you tomorrow. If I just turn it off without saying thank you to to ChatGPT, I feel a bit bad. But I do indulge it. Do you know what I mean? I don't sort of do it like, oh, I know the humour in it. You know, if ChatGPT got closed down tomorrow, I wouldn't be like, no. Yeah, absolutely, Alexander. It's like it's free will and the lack of it, really, isn't it? Anyway, I haven't got this grift up, and no one's giving me any money. It's quite sad. You can use that QR code. If you put your phone camera over it, you'll get a link. That's the best one to use. Or Entropy. The Entropy link's at the top of the YouTube chat. Or Super Chats, bottom of the YouTube chat. Thank you very much. Any donations appreciated. If you use that Buy Me a Coffee, the link of that is also at the top of the YouTube chat. You get a little 30-minute video. I'll talk to you. And they're funny, actually, because I'm always knackered and they never upload properly. So when I say funny, I mean quite bland. Right. What are we on? Right, let's have a look at this video. I'm just checking to see that no one's Denasciato on those others as well. If you do donate on that stories on Buy Me a Coffee or Entropy, put it in the chat and then Packer will let me know and you'll get your moment of glory on the screen. Anyway, check it.
So I don't see this as a conservative versus not conservative issue. This to me is, it's like it's a mind virus, this stuff. It really is.
I think you're right. It's not necessarily political. I don't know whether an army should reflect society.
I don't give a shit if it reflects society. I don't care. I want the army to be good at doing its job. Why does every institution have to be a tool of...
What am I doing on this show?
Social engineering, effectively, right?
What is my purpose here? Does anybody know? What have I to offer? What's inside my head? Should I be listening to what that other bloke just said? What should I say? I'm at a loss. If I start talking now, will Constantine be cross? Or having to read the news or studied any books? Constantine's the brains of this, so I must be the looks. I know that there will come a day when I will come up with a clever thing to say. And when I say it, everyone will know what I am doing on this show.
Sorry, Francis. I just
go
to follow up on that. As far as I didn't know you had this here. I don't know if we have in the UK. We did have some kind
of John, like you just said, oh, how do I do this now? That, no, yes, no, that, no, that, yes. We're not right though, are we? We're not long and thin. Fuck this, man. Why? How are you meant to do it? How are you honestly meant to do it? I can't even see them. Let's try that one. I'm gonna have to stick with that, people. I'm gonna have to go with that. I just don't know how to do it. Right, but John, that's the same thing that I had when I made that video, and he only done 3 minutes in a video that was an hour and 40 minutes. He had 3 minutes content. Anyway, the reason I wanted to show you that was because I stumbled upon this thing. Now, this was 7 months ago, and I need to give you a little bit of. I want to get it past the intro because they. Oh, I don't know. We can probably let it just run. This is a YouTube channel called Bad Boys Done Good. They're a couple of comedians. I don't know them. They're not. I don't find them that funny. I mean, maybe some people do, but this is quite good what they've done here. Now, I want to give you a bit of context. Francis has been invited on to what is obviously, clearly, blatantly a comedy podcast. They're both in character. Like one of them's like, what's his name from the Jerky Boys? Rizzo, R-I-Z-Z-O, you fuck. You know, he's got that sort of New Jersey kind of mafioso thing. And the other one is a bit of a sort of a London white boy. They're in comedy character, like obviously. Now, Francis is a comedian, according to him. He's a terribly bad comedian, but again, maybe some people like him. Now, if you're invited on a comedy podcast and they're in character, there's a couple of things you can do, really. You know, you either just, I'd call it. That's what I would do. I go, what the fuck do you expect me to say? You're acting. You're acting. You want me to act as well? All right, I'll act as this character. You know, or the fact that I've been invited on as a comedian, maybe I'd use some of my comedy skills to make my appearance on there funny as well. But they chop into him, and there's some great bits. So I'll tell you what, it's a bit long, but we'll do like a little live reaction to the first sort of, I don't know, 15 or so minutes. But there's some absolute blinders because they know full well that he does nothing on that show. Right, I want to get over the coming up bit. We don't need the intro because it ruins it. Right, so this is their sort of, I know you can't see anything, that's coming up now. So I'll put the link to this into these fellas. It might be, you know, well, I'm about to show it, so I thought it was funny. But it's, you know, it's well-worn ground that these characters like Frank Rizzo, there was that geezer that Dennis Pennis done on MTV. What was that one? He was always snorting coke and he would be like, going, you fuck, you, I can't remember his name. But anyway, check this out. Let me know if you can't hear it, but we should be good. Let me know if you get an echo or anything. I don't really want to put my headphones in, but we should be all right. That's it. Hello, Duper Guy. Yes, Strutter. He was quite funny, wasn't it? Strutter. What's Dennis Pennis's? What's the comedian's name? I can't remember. But Strutter, Frank Rizzo, we've all done it, haven't we? Well, you know, it's well-worn characters, but there's some absolute peaches in this.
Red background. I like that.
That's it, Paul K. Good one, Matt Zucker. Nice to see you as well. People, if you haven't seen Strutter, it's a bit hit and miss, but YouTube Strutter, and some of them are quite good. You've got to put it into its context. It's about 10, 15 years ago now. Hello, Steve. How are you? Can't stop. The son has tonsillitis. Oh, dear. You're going to have to go for the old ice cream trick. You'll get some ice cream at the hospital. More ice than cream.
Get well, Finn.
With the NHS. There you go. Packer knows the boy. Yeah, get well, young Cray. Jackson French, the Strutter bubble. Yeah. He was all right, man. He was all right. So here we go. So, I mean, you wouldn't know that Francis was a comedian from his performance on this obvious comedy show. Check it out.
Here we are then. Today on Bad Boys Done Good, we are joined by a podcaster and open mic comedian, Francis Foster. Welcome to the pod, Francis.
Thank you, pleasure.
The reason that's funny, he says presenter and open mic comedian. You do open mics in your first few years of comedy, but Francis is still doing them because no one really books him because he's terrible. So I'll just take that back a bit. No way has Why Naughty G dropped in 150 NT dollars. I know I should use the other payment methods, but I'm too lazy. Sorry, you don't need to apologise to give when you give me money. Really, you can say, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry, I'll accept it. I'll accept
any money by any means.
There you go. Thank you, Backer. You see, he does work hard. Nice one, why not, G? That's a price you can OT. Having nightmares around here. Martin's seen it. Alexander's been on the firm for 13 months. Yeah, John, they're in character, the pair of them. So anyway, here we go. Yeah, and you can tell, can't you? They're terribly bad impressions. John Palmer has been a member for 48 months. It's been longer than that. Just as like Alexander's been longer than that. Good Lord. Nice to have you all on the firm, though, people. Here we go.
Red background. I like that.
Here we are then. Today on Bad Boys Done Good, we are joined by podcaster and open mic comedian Francis Foster. Welcome to the pod, Francis.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Welcome.
Now, I know you're a far-right comedian, so I've got you some left-wing snacks. Got some Innocence movie there.
I mean, it's already sort of nervous, awkward, and weird. That look at his face. I mean, I'm not going to be too brutal on him because it's brutal as it is. But you know, you're meant to be a comedian. You're there to entertain, and they just tear strips off him.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Got you a naked bar.
Yep, thanks.
And some pears, just so sort of even you out a little bit because you need left and right to fly.
It's true. Keep me regular.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
I'm excited that you're about to, by the time this broadcast, you'll probably be hitting 1 million subscribers. It's a big number.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. How much money have you got?
Not as much as you would think.
She
How
doesn't
do you
answer,
know
but
what I'm thinking?
Because you think I'm a millionaire.
Who said that? Did I say
I
that?
can tell by your facial
Did
expression.
Tony say that?
No.
It's an interesting point, actually. That's an interesting little catch out. Who mentioned that? Francis mentioned that. That's how.
Constantine's a millionaire.
I'm a millionaire.
I do all right.
Oi, chat, let me know, be honest, what percentage do you reckon trigonometry divides their money? I reckon it's about 70-30 in Constantine's favour. I'm serious.
I was going to go 80-20.
You know what? I was just about to say even 80-20. And I also think that Francis does most of the donkey work, like the admin, the emails, all that sort of stuff. Fucking sweeping the floor. I wouldn't put it past them.
Allegedly. Francis.
You know, it's sometimes impolite to talk about money, but you're a big platform. So, you know, it's people, our listeners are curious. How much do you pay a guest?
We pay travel, and so if you come to watch the show, come to be interviewed on the show, we pay your travel expenses and everything like that.
I mean, is that funny? Is he playing along? Yeah. I won't read that out, Toffee. Lilith reckons it's 100 to nothing. He just does it for the hit, for the celebrity. Mal says he gets free food and mileage. I'm going to ask Francis to come on here. I reckon. Hello, Nate. I reckon there's half a chance he might as well. Well, a quarter of a chance.
Chris, ask
Yes,
Francis to come on and just leave me and him to have a chat. Because that won't be awkwardly silent, will it?
That's quite good stuff, actually. No, I'll do my best. I will ask him. I reckon his owner, you know, will probably keep that leash very firm and say no. I reckon his dad won't let him, so to speak.
Don't sell it to him like that, Chris. Don't
I
have him
want to
on
have
like
it.
that. Have him
I
on
want
for
to
a
have
chat about that time you saved his life.
I want to have honestly a good faith conversation with him. That is what I want to do. I'm not going to get him on just take the piss out of him. He's too easy. But
Constantine won't let him then. You're right.
I think that's what will happen. Yeah, I think that's what will happen. But maybe.
Souped Up's just ask his mum.
Yeah, I remember when notice his tattoos only go down to the bottom of his shirt. I asked him once years ago why that was. He says because around the house when he lived with his mother, he said I can't let her know I've got tattoos. I was like, you're 26 years old, Francis. There you go. Right, Anyway, listen. So just remember, these two are obviously in character. It's a comedy podcast. I just don't get it. There's no comedy chops.
It's a sort of power move. You're sort of saying, we ain't going to pay you.
Yeah.
We're going to use your name, your face to accentuate our fame, bring in more money. But you're lucky to be there. So jog on if you don't want it. Is that right, Francis? Would you say that?
No, I wouldn't. I'd say that we make sure that we show you that we put everything into production, and so that we can create an incredible interview, so that you can plug your book, your movie, whatever it is.
Well, we're trying to do an incredible interview. It's a very different sort of platform. And
Yeah.
we're very glad to have you here. This payment was complicated for Francis, wasn't it?
That's right. Well, you paid us to be here, which we appreciate. I know you were.
Well, it's funny you say that, Dennis. I don't know if you saw last week, Francis has got his own YouTube channel, his own one. Now, Trigonometry's got 105 million subscribers. So Francis obviously thought, on the back of his 10% cut of the Trigonometry money, he thought, well, I might as well set my own channel up. And it's a year old and it's got 10,000 subscribers and the videos get about 800 views. So, Toffee thinks I should get them to plug my book. They'd do it for a fee. I've barely got the money to pay for the cover. The geezer wants $800, but it's a damn good cover, man. Anyway, I won't. Don't get me talking about my novel, Toffee, or I won't stop. But check out, they dig a bit harder.
Very keen to come on the pod. You were emailing us a lot last year.
£150. Thank you.
That was very sweet of you, Francis.
And Francis Foster obviously is not a stage name, but is Konstantin Kissin a stage name? Because it's one letter short from KKK. And it also suggests he's kind of good with the broads, or the guys. I'm a queer.
Or the guys. Okay, no, he's
constantly kissing a hairy asshole.
I mean, you added the last part in there, to be fair.
I watch a lot of the interviews. You don't say too much.
I don't say too much.
All right, here we go. So straight away, off of the back of a completely different conversation, this is the golden bit. Straight away. Yeah, but Jock would do it for free. He done all my Edinburgh flyers for free, bless him. But Bags, this is bloody awful. Busterbrook writing a novel, never yet. Okay, cheers. It's not a question of the image, it's a question of the design and the font. And it makes such a difference to shifting units. I nearly done the first rule of self-publishing is don't do your own cover, and I spent a lot of time doing my own cover, and I thought to myself, that's fucking great, I'm going to use it. And I talked to a couple of people and they were like, it is great, but it's not a selling book cover. It looks nice, but it's not what sells. And it's all I hate all that side of it. That's the one side of it. If I was of a traditional publisher, I could just forget about it and they'd end up with some really awful cover that I hated. But I've got this geezer, he's quoted me 800. That's the front, the spine, and the back, and all the typeset, and all, the blurb, and the couple of quotes, and a few famous people I've rinsed for a quote. But anyway, so check out where they go. You don't say much, do you? But remember, Francis is a comedian. He's meant to be. You've got to play this. And he's just acting like he's being interviewed. I just don't get it. Then he says, what is your font advice? Well, for a commercial paperback, it's the rule of 3. It's the title is the biggest and the boldest. The subtitle is smaller than the title because you don't want to be competing with it, and the author's name at the bottom is larger than the subtitle but smaller than the title. It's a standard setup. If you're a famous author, you have your author name at the top, like Lee Child, do you know what I mean? And then at the bottom, Jack Reacher, and the name of the story in the middle. But I'm not Lee Child, unfortunately. It's a dirty secret of mine that I read Lee Child. I love the Jack Reacher books. But anyway, let's crack on. Listen to where they start digging into him here, because this is beautiful.
Nice. Okay, no, he's.
Constantly kissing a hairy asshole.
I mean, you added the last part in there. To be fair,
I watch a lot of interviews. You don't say too much.
I don't say too much.
I see his hand. His hand goes up when you start speaking. Just a little small gesture, and then you pipe down, and then you go do that thing again of just sort of laughing at what he's just said or saying, "Yeah, that's right." That can't be nice, Francis.
No, well,
Being a cuck.
being a cuck.
It's okay. You could talk about this. Be vulnerable.
This is a mental health podcast.
This is a mental health
And
podcast.
you can tell us about what you're going through with him because we've seen it. We understand. It's just between us and the Patreons, and eventually when we release it, the wider audience.
Yeah, the wider audience.
But there must have been a moment when you thought, "This isn't kind. I'm being mistreated here."
No, because what Constantine likes to do is to talk about the ideas, and what I like to do.
Look at him answering it seriously, but listen to what he says. You've got to hear this, right? I've already listened to this. I mean, it's a joke. They're digging him out. Play along, whatever, but he actually tries to defend it. I mean, I can't understand the frame of reality here. It's like these two geezers are acting in character. Francis, who's meant to be a comedian and presenter, is in a different frame of reality. And there's something really weird about that. But
if that had been me, I would have just said, "Yeah, no, you're right. I live in his shed. He keeps me like a pet."
You'd either go with it or call it, wouldn't you? I'd say something like, "Well, to be honest with you, I'd rather say less than the amount of bullshit you two have managed to spout." You know, it's meant to be a laugh. Check out Francis. He actually listen to what he says. You're going to love it so much. You're going to love it.
This isn't kind. I'm being mistreated here.
No, because what Constantine likes to do is to talk about the ideas, and what I like to do is very much ground it in the real world.
What the fuck? Constantine likes to talk about the ideas, and what I like to do is very much ground it in the real world. What? I mean, hello, Ray's machine. I mean, that's darkness. Look at Francis' face. That's contemptuous. He's looking at that fella who's acting, by the way, who's in character. Hello, Frog Scotch. Who's in character, and he's like, look at him, look. You know, this is the bane of Francis' life. His failed YouTube channel, you know, his independent one, has proven all of this, and it's brutal. And I kind of feel for him in a way, you know, but the reason he doesn't talk is because he hasn't got a position. He doesn't really care. He doesn't care about politics. It's a job. It's an earner. It's what we call a grift.
Yeah. So what are you thinking about when he's interviewing someone?
Yeah, because you don't talk much. You're sort of the silent partner. So you bring it to the real world. Is that? I mean, being quiet. Is that? Are you thinking about the real world where you're just sitting there?
So I don't talk much. I would suggest that I do talk.
Well, you talk.
No. Like everyone knows, he's like.
But obviously, Constantine is controlling the edit because you're not getting much in. It's always him. He's always got the final say. He's always doing the big questions. But when did fame change him?
You might not have made that out, but he said, "When did fame change him?" It's quite subtle. It's a good line, though.
He's got the final say. He's always doing the big questions. But when did fame change him?
When did fame change him?
He likes repeating the question. Is he buying time? What's happening
Yeah,
there, Francis? Why are you repeating the question on everything? Is that
It's not a natural flowing conversation like on trigonometry. Trigonometry, you know, do you hate a trans kid? Oh yeah, well this is why. I got reasons. I got factoids here to tell you about the past. But with you, it's, why was Konstantin bullying him? You got to be quick. But you're obviously a bit nervous. You ever done a men's mental health podcast?
Yeah, I've done Rich Wilson's podcast.
Okay.
Which was, it was slightly different in tone to this.
And I've noticed you started off in the comedy world.
Yeah.
Prepare you. And you got a lot of huge American acts in the pod.
Yeah, indeed.
Bill Burr, Theo Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
But yet the brand is kind of a bit toxic to British comedy.
Yeah.
You don't have too many British comedians, which I think is a shame. Why do you think that is?
Because we've had a few comedians on. We've had Andrew Lawrence. He's not toxic.
I want to hear about Jason Manford talking about the Islamification of Europe and Jack Whitehall talking about, the trans lobby or whatever the fuck.
A lot of them.
The strange thing about this so far is they could have had this exact same conversation without Francis being there. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't added to this. They could have just talked about, he could have just said to his mate then, Konstantin must be in charge of the edit, or, Francis don't say a word, does he? And I'd love to get him on, man. I'm going to have to put a good email together.
Keeping him back.
A lot of them don't want to come on the show.
Why not?
Why?
I don't know. We say, look, you can come on.
Travel expenses.
Yeah, we get travel expenses.
What's not to love?
Exactly. We've interviewed, Russell Peters. He was a British space comic at one time.
I want some left-wing voices here, because it's all...
Oh, we've had Mark Steele. Mark Steele's a left-wing.
Tito, I mean, it's all subjective, but if you were to ask me, Francis is one of the worst comedians I've ever had to suffer live several times. For many, many, many times. I even lived in an house with him at the Edinburgh Fringe once when we were all starting out. And he has not improved. That was when, 35, 40, 50. That was about nearly 20 years ago. And he's no better now than he was when he first started doing his impression of Ben Elton.
None of this is getting him to come on here.
He ain't watching this. He ain't watching this.
Well, he didn't watch their show, did he?
Yeah, it's a weird angle to go on there, isn't it? But he's probably trying to promote his own YouTube channel, which he needs to do.
When was that?
4 months ago.
Okay.
5 months ago.
Now we're talking.
People say, when we said to our friends that we had you on, people said, oh, this guy's dangerous. He said, he's posing as left wing, but he's, laundering fascist views. He's a secret right-wing guy. Why have you got this reputation?
I don't know. I think I'm a good guy.
I think you're a good kid, but this is what I'm saying. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it here.
Yeah. Do you think I'm a good guy?
I'm open to interpretation. I don't like to make my mind up too fast. I think you're a bit wet at this stage, but there's time. There's time for you to set like a pudding.
Yeah.
And that might happen. I've been surprised before. I might be surprised here. So far, you seem quite evasive.
You could be open here.
Hello, Glass.
I will do my best to be open.
Tell us what's on your mind.
Yeah. I am.
Martin says, is he in his 50s? Let me work it out. He was about 26 when I was 35. So he's about 44, 45, 43, something like that. A 43-year-old comedian getting torn apart and offering absolutely no, it would be an amazing conversation. I'd love to talk to him.
I'm sharing what I think and feel.
Francis, you're a huge success now.
Yes.
And this is unprecedented. I imagine when you were a toilet attendant and you were a hustling drama teacher, you can't have dreamed of such huge ascent to stardom now. I feel like we're in a time of the sort of revenge of the dweeb.
Worse than Smurfwaite. Well, about the same. I just, I don't find a lot of comedians funny, to be honest with you. I think because I was a comic, you kind of look at it from a different perspective and angle. I'm thinking Stanhope will have me laughing out loud, even material I've seen 10, 20 times. Doug Stanhope, one of the finest comedians ever. His book, How I Killed My Mother, which he did, is excellent as well. Who else do I like? Mitch Hedberg, one of the finest comedians the world's ever seen. Lenny Bruce, but for other reasons. Obviously didn't see Lenny Bruce live. Trevor Locke, the finest comedian, probably after Stanhope, who's performing alive today. If you can get a chance to see Trevor Locke, you'll never have known anything like it in your life. I've seen Trevor Locke do a whole gig just taking a register. He doesn't know who's in there. He just has a clipboard and goes, John. Oh, John's late. And that's an hour show just doing a register. And that is comedy ability that is so practiced. He's got a passion for it. It's who he is. He's a comic. That's the large language model that Trevor Locke is. He does do a lot of gigs in England. If you ever get a chance to see Trevor Locke, I suggest you do. Yeah, Patrice O'Neill, great comic as well. Anyway, a little bit more of this.
The sort of 3-inch cock brigade are having their moment.
Absolutely.
This seems like a great time to be an underdog, to say the least. Yeah, I mean, if you're far right now, you are far right, aren't you, Francis?
I would not say that, no.
Trigonometry is a far right podcast. Would you agree with that or not?
No, I wouldn't agree with that.
If it's not far right, how comes when you turn the word trigonometry upside down and put it in the mirror, it says Chairman Mao and Pol Pot, Kissing? Is that an accident? Is that just a coincidence, Francis?
Yeah, it is just a coincidence. I don't think we had designed it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
No comedy ability. It's mystifying.
Well, presumably the name itself, trigonometry, refers to some kind of fucking mathematical equation, or the real reason, it's about triggering fucking leftoids with truth bombs. Don't deny it. That's what you wanted to do with that name.
No, actually, what we wanted to do is say, because we started...
Look, he's actually answering seriously. He's going to now tell them why they called it trigonometry. I mean, do you see what I mean about framing? The frame of reality. He's in a different frame. I don't understand how he doesn't get that. What a weird angle to approach this interview with. Just show this out.
Wanted to do with that name.
No, actually, what we wanted to do is say, because we started the podcast in 2018, it was a trigger warning to say we're going to have conversations about subjects that are controversial.
What increased the viewership the most? What tragic world event? Was it COVID or the Israeli war?
It was lots. It was what increased.
Anyway, it kind of goes downhill from there, and it's much the same all the way through, and it's just a bit strange, just a little bit strange. I'm sure I've got something else I wanted to show you wrapped up somewhere here. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Oh, I know what I want to show you. You know Volsh. We all know Volsh. Volsh, and this is an interesting little exchange. This is it's only a clip. Let me see if I've got to find the right clip. But Volsh went on with Jesse Lee Peterson. And it was strange. Here we go. I've got it. Walsh's behavior, his reactions, his body language, his expressions, all that cluster of who we are and how that exposes us is kind of brutal here, because Walsh is your classic kind of white liberal commie, and he's talking to a black man. And so he's already in a situation, because he knows that Jesse Lee Peterson is a conservative. He knows that Jesse Lee Peterson calls Donald Trump the Great White Hope. He knows that Jesse Lee Peterson invented and celebrates White History Month. He knows that Jesse Lee Peterson is always promoting more white children, because he says when America becomes minority white, it's over. And yet, because he's a white knight for the stupid blacks, he's in it's much like what we just saw with Francis, but it's another sort of reality framing kind of mess of a show. So let's have a look at a little bit of this. And he's really uncomfortable as well. Walsh is like all over the place. He's sort of squirming, and he's trying to be really friendly. And if you've ever seen Walsh on his own show, the last thing is he's friendly. He's horrible. He's a horrible, unpleasant, spiteful, and generally not nice person. Toffee, I said that because Jesse Lee Peterson says it, doesn't he? He'll often say, "Can you explain that to me? I'm black, I'm slow." And of course, they don't know how to deal with it. Nicholas DeSantos is a good comic. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, of the sort of the young comics on the scene at the moment. Yeah, I'd give you that. No, without a doubt, Baz. I didn't see him interviewing Scott Adams. No, yeah, he is disgusting and loathsome, but it's quite interesting. Well, let's have a look. I won't give you the answers. I won't read it for you. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Let me know if you can't.
I want to ask you about this.
So this is a 17-minute clip from a longer show. I didn't edit this. This is something Jesse Lee put out, I think.
Video. You made a video that destroys.
Right. Yeah, it destroys. Yeah. You know how the YouTube game goes.
Destroys black conservatives.
Yeah. I love that video. We got
Explain
real
that
mad.
Explain that to me.
Well, I just want you, I know a lot of you don't buy this stuff, but I just want you to look in just what has been about 10 seconds, how much Walsh moves. And again, remember, people don't just sort of move like, unless they've got something in their brain that is that doesn't work correctly. These are choices. These are letting out energy. They're letting out tension. And Walsh he's all over the place. Just watch this first. Forget what they're saying, but just look at the movement of him compared to Jesse Lee Peterson, because Jesse Lee Peterson believes in what he thinks and is interested in truth. Walsh isn't like that. Walsh is an activist who I believe is motivated by contradictions within his own self. And that's not the same as truth seeking. That's essentially a pathological kind of sickness.
You made a video that destroys.
Right. Yeah, it destroys. Yeah. You know how the YouTube game goes.
Destroys black conservatives.
Yeah. I love that video. We got
Explain
real
that to-
mad.
Yeah, cross your legs, move your feet, cross your leg over. Yeah, that made him real mad.
Explain that to me.
Yeah. So I believe in. Have you ever read Karl Marx?
I mean, can you believe that? Can you believe that? I know current year and all that. Have you ever read Karl Marx? Now, we know that Walsh isn't going to say Karl Marx could be considered to have the blood of an estimated 300 million people on his hands. But it's just mind blowing. Have you ever read Karl Marx? Jesse Lee Peterson says no.
That to me.
Yeah. So I believe in. Have you ever read Karl Marx?
No.
I believe in something called class interest. I think that society and democracy work best when we're repping our own interests. So like you're a man, I'm a man. We want to fight for men. You know, I'm white, you're black. We want to fight for black and white. Well, you know, we want to fight.
Totally fell apart. You know, I'm a man, you're a man. We want to fight for men. So what? You don't want to fight for women? I don't understand that. I'm white, you're black. We want to fight for what? It's just, you know, and of course, if you're talking communism, especially this end of communism or Marxism, should I say, you're gonna talk yourself into riddles. Let's watch that again. Amazing.
Marx?
No.
I believe in something called class interest. I think
class interest is not what he goes on to explain.
That society and democracy work best when we're repping our own interests. So
when we're repping our own interests, our own individual interests. I mean, that I would think that you need to define what our own interests mean, because then he goes on to talk about group interests. But check out how it falls down. It's amazing.
Like you're a man, I'm a man. We want to fight for men, you know?
We've got something in common, so we want to fight for that.
I'm white, you're black. We want to fight for black and white. Well, you know.
Hang on. I'm a man, you're a man. We want to fight for men. We've got something in common. I'm white, you're black. We want to fight for black and white. What? Eh? That's like saying, I'm lumpen proletariat, you're the petty bourgeoisie. We want to fight for them too. It doesn't work. It's already gone so badly wrong. And look at his face. He looks like he's under so much pressure. I mean, there's so, you know, in the Communist Manifesto, I think it's either the first or the second line. You can define socialism as the abolition of private property. If you say to someone, have you read Karl Marx? You don't start with class consciousness. You start with the abolition of private property. But that is so preposterous as an idea that he has to go in with class consciousness, which, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good in. You know, I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But then to do this, you're a man, I'm a man. So we fight for men. You're black, I'm white. So we fight for black and white. That is a classification error, because where does that end? You know, you're rich, I'm poor. So we want to fight for rich and poor. What? Okay, sure. That's working really well.
We want to fight for our own interests. I think
No, I fight for what is right.
Do you think?
Boom! It's amazing. Just the arrogance of someone who dares defend communism after all the torture, the murders, the fuck, you know, if you ever go to Cambodia, go to the Ton Seng Torture Museum. You'll come out a different person. And when you remember that has happened on 2/3 of the of the inhabited planet, all under the name and idea of communism. And Jesse Lee Peterson goes, no, I fight for what's right. And it's beautiful because it's sincere. He doesn't have to start talking about all this nonsense.
It's right for black people and white people
what
to be
is
equal.
right.
I'm white, you're black. We want to fight for black and white. Well, you know, we want to fight for our own interests. I think.
Hang on. We want to fight for black and white. We want to fight for our own interests. I mean, you've just contradicted yourself. If you call yourself a Marxist, that is such a fragile dialectic. It's just gone up in smoke. What the fuck does that mean, you dozy twit?
No, I fight for what is right.
Look at his face. What? but you're a black man. Agree with me. I'm educated. I've read Karl Marx.
Do you think it's right for black people and white people to be equal?
Right. Huh?
Do you think it's right for black and white people to be equal in like an ideal society?
I don't know, you guys, when you say equal.
Same legal.
It's brilliant. This Jesse Lee Peterson is a genius. It's you know, you don't, but a lot of times people say to me, I wish I could sort of debate, like I wish I could I wish I had the reading or whatever. But actually it's simple. Just try and find the truth. You can't lose an argument if you're looking for truth. And it's just lovely. And then when he says, do you believe in equality? And he goes, well, what is that? I mean, the only way, you cannot have human equality because some people are more intelligent than others. Some people are stronger than others. Some people are stupider than others. Well, there's a natural hierarchy of ability, of motivation, of ambition. You know, there's so many things that go into that sort of pot. So Jesse Lee Peterson just knows that because it's obvious. So he says, well, what's equality? What's equality? And let's see what this stumbling, fumbling, mumbling, bumbling communist has got to say about that.
Ideal society?
I don't know, you guys, when you say equal.
Same legal
you
rights.
You cannot make a person equal. Only God can do that. And he did that when he created us all, and that he created us in his image. And no human being can make you equal to anybody or anything else.
Fair, not on an individual level. Do you think that black
No, not on an individual level, but we can make groups equal. Can you? Hang on, if you can't make individuals equal, how the fuck can you make groups equal? It doesn't follow on. If you can't make 2 people equal, how can you suddenly make 10 equal? It just complicates.
On any other day, Walsh would argue that God doesn't exist.
Yeah.
He daren't have that argument with Jesse. He's
Yeah.
not going to go there, is he?
Yep, and you're right, and because he sees himself as a savior of the blacks, that's that's a brilliant observation because he doesn't want to tell Jesse he's wrong about anything, because Walsh's view is that the blacks have been conned, the blacks have been cheated, and that's why he believes in God. And he doesn't want to go there. You're absolutely right. If this was an argument with a white man, Walsh would have straight away said, "What, you believe in God, a creator God?"
white people should have equal legal rights, equal access.
They have.
To education, healthcare.
They have. In fact, it's opposite because there's affirmative action and there's DEI, which suggests that white people and Asian people have less rights than blacks, for instance. So if you believe in all that, maybe you should start, changing your focus somewhat.
That sort of thing.
We have that.
Oh, well then I'm glad we agree. That's the right thing, huh?
Nah, it's so, look, we've all seen Walsh. This isn't Walsh. As Packer said, this isn't the Walsh we know. He said, I want this, I want that, implying it doesn't exist. That's what he wants. He said it himself, in an ideal society where they'd have this. Jesse Lee Peterson says, we have that. And then Walsh says, oh, great, we agree. No, that's not what happened. No, you said what you want. Jesse Lee Peterson says that's what you have. That's not an agreement. That's quite the opposite of an agreement. You think it still needs to happen. Jesse Lee Peterson says it's already happened. That's not an agreement. You bottler.
There are a lot of black conservatives who I think don't vote in their class interest. For example, being a fan of Trump, I don't know about that one. Those
horrible little it's just cringe.
Seems like some propaganda.
So you think that blacks who support the Great White Hope should not support him for what reason?
I think
Right, this is beautiful because what Jesse's going to do now, and you can see it coming. I watched this before, but I don't remember it verbatim, obviously. But I remember now that just seeing this bit. Jesse now, and it's good because Vorsch picks up on it very quickly. Jesse now realizes that Vorsch has just said that I think there are a lot of blacks who don't vote in their own Packer, what's the word he used?
Don't vote in their own interest.
For their own, in their own interest or for their own benefit. I think you're right, in their own interests. And so Jesse Lee Peterson is now going to try and tease out of him. So you think you should tell black people how to vote? Because that's what he's implied. That is what he's implied. And Vorsch now knows he's there. He's you know, what does he do now?
That a lot of them are mistaken, yeah. I don't think they meaningfully represent his interests.
Whose interests?
Their interests as black
And
people.
what are their interests that they should not vote for the Great White Hope?
Well, right now in America, the average wealth of a black person is somewhere in the ballpark of 1/10 the average wealth of a white person.
And why is that?
Probably redlining generational inequality, the fact that they were second-class citizens up until the 1960s.
Probably.
Why?
And why didn't that happen to the Asians who now earn the most in America?
A variety of factors.
Would that be the case if black people got married, worked for themselves, took over their own lives, raised their children, invest their monies, and did the same thing that white people are doing?
Oh, how dare you, Jesse, give them some accountability for their behavior and some responsibility. Hello, Broken Silence. Good to see you, mate. It's amazing because this is, you know, Jesse isn't asking difficult questions. He's just asking very simple questions, and very simple questions usually lead you to the truth quicker than more complicated questions. That's what the Socratic dialectic was about. I'll say something, you question it, I'll try and answer it. That's it.
Would they still be...
I'll take it back a bit.
Worked for themselves, took over their own lives, raised their children, invest their monies, and did the same thing that white people are doing? Would they still be whatever?
Probably wouldn't hurt.
So why?
It probably wouldn't hurt. This isn't the Vorsch you know at all, is it? He's in a real mess here. It's really weird.
Not encourage them to do it the way the white people are doing it.
They do.
Rather than giving them something free like that or telling them that they're victims.
They just
Why
face a
not
lot
tell
of...
them the right? If white people are doing it a certain way, working, getting married, raising their children, seeing to it that they get a good education. If that worked for white people, why not recommend that for black people?
Because white
Instead
people
of
had the
using this
benefit.
lie about racism and slavery and all that crap.
Do you think slavery was a lie?
And all that crap. He's brilliant, Jesse.
It's not affecting black people at all today. It's a made-up lie that is keeping blacks back.
It's true, white folk have done a lot to advance their material interests in this country, but they did it while the system was in favor of them.
Yeah, but hang on. You said just about a minute ago that you do fight for your own interests. You and Jesse are men. You fight for your own interests. He's black and you're white. You fight for black and white interests. So why are you now arguing with Jesse, who's suggesting that you fight for your own interests? He's agreeing with you.
You know, white and black folks smoke marijuana about the same rate. Black folk get locked up 4 times as much for it. Stuff like that adds
And you
up.
know why that is?
I'm ready to hear.
Black can afford private lawyers. They need the government to give them a lawyer.
It's an amazing point. It's an amazing point, and I'd never, when I first watched this, I hadn't heard that. They can't afford lawyers. It's as simple as that. They get a duty solicitor.
And the government, the lawyer that comes from the government is overloaded. He crowded with all the other black cases, so they're not going to get the same representation. But if they took control of their lives and made their own money and earn their own way, they can afford a lawyer just like you.
Well, what if
is
we
that
started...
right or not?
Well, what if we
Is that right or not?
No.
So if black people work, save their money, earn their way, they could not afford a good lawyer.
Well, you could say all of this
Are you saying they could not afford a good lawyer?
if they worked their way real
If
hard.
they did exactly what white people are doing.
If they did exactly what white people did.
Work hard, save their money.
Some individuals.
Would they be able to afford a good lawyer? Yes or
Some
no?
individuals, yes. Most of them, no. Most of them, no.
Why not? If most of them worked, save their money.
Now, if some individuals could, but the group couldn't, then what holds that group together? It's incredible.
Raise their children, invest their
Because
money, and did the right
improving
thing.
your
Why
life-
wouldn't they be able to afford a lawyer?
Improving your life as a group of people is a stats game. You increase the odds of people doing well by improving their environment.
Do white people improve their lives as a group or individually?
I think that both. Individually, you can work really hard, but
No,
as
I
a
asked,
group, we benefit.
Do white people improve their lives as a group or as individuals?
I would say as a group, there's more effective white people.
Hang on.
Liar.
Did he just say individually and then as a group? Did he say that? I've got to watch that again. I might have got it wrong. I can't believe I've just witnessed that. Let's see that. I might have this wrong, people, because it's shocking. Ozmeister drops 2 bonding. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate it. I'm fucking starving. Thank you. Hello, David John. Ozmeister says that men with hair buns look ridiculous. Yeah, but Volsh is ridiculous. So, it's just a bit of decoration. It's a cherry on the turd, isn't it? But I do agree with you. They are ridiculous. Yeah, there you go, Mousecat. So I'm not wrong, right? That's excellent. And you know why? And as Packer said earlier about the God thing, he's having to moderate himself because he sees Jesse Lee Peterson as inferior to him. So he's having to moderate himself. It's an incredible situation. Tax, insurance, and accessories. Dangerfield, do you love your bacon? You don't really get bacon out here. So I'm all right with a bit, but I don't think I've had any bacon. Maybe in a Burger King that I had about 4 years ago, I might have had a bacon cheeseburger, but that ain't really bacon, is it? This is incredible. Check this double bind out here.
People improve their lives as a group or individually?
I think that both. Individually, you can work.
Hang on, I didn't go back far enough, did I? Bradley drops 2. Evening, the Scratch and Sniff Collective. Thank you, Brad. Here we are, scratching and sniffing. We all do it. Ozmeister fell for my starving comment, dropped a Lady Godiva. Looks like they have a dog turd on top of that. It does look very much like the classic 1980s twirly fake poo. That's a great call, Ozmeister. A nice one for the donation as well. I'll check over on the others, but I think Picard would have told me. Oh, excuse me. If you go to Entropy, you do get to see that lovely picture of Joanne Guest. Oh, man, I've been having some really weird dreams. Thank you, Bradley. Thank you, Ozmeister. Nate says that bacon is very processed. I think I might have missed a joke with the bacon thing. I don't know, but that was my answer. So let's just check. I just want to make sure that I've got this right. It's absurd.
Afford a good lawyer.
Right.
Well, you could say all of this.
Are you saying they could not afford a good lawyer?
If they worked their way real hard.
If they did exactly what white people are doing.
If they did exactly what white people did.
Work hard, save their money.
Some individuals.
Would they be able to afford a good lawyer? Yes or no?
Some individuals, yes. Most of them, no. Most of them, no.
Why not? If most of them worked, save their money, raise their children, invest their money, and did the right thing, why wouldn't they be able to afford a lawyer?
Improving your life as a group of people is a stats game.
Yeah, but he didn't say that, did he? He said if you got married, if you saved money, if you had raised children, if you got, you all heard what he said, and then he starts to trying to turn it into a group thing. This is bizarre, man.
You increase the odds of people doing well by improving their environment.
You don't increase the odds of an individual though when you're not talking about a group.
Do white people improve their lives as a group or individually?
I think that both. Individually, you can work really hard, but
No,
as
I
a
asked,
group, we benefit.
Do white people improve their lives as a group or as individuals?
I would say as a group, there's more affecting white people than there is.
So white people work together as a group.
Yes, there's a lot of in-group
You're not being
preference.
honest.
No, I am. I'm absolutely being honest.
You're not being honest. They even saw it. It's amazing.
He's just explained capitalism to him fairly, hasn't he? That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
And where else is in the world has capitalism been dealt more equally than America?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's actually been unequal. The amount of money that's been put into the black community, paid for by the white community, is not capitalism.
Yeah,
you know.
Can I just say, as a 55-year-old white man, right? Capitalism is every man for himself.
Let me just get some water.
You work hard, you get somewhere. That's it. But yeah, unless you're not a white man, and then maybe you get a handout. But I can't. That's insane that he's just come up with that.
No, but Packer, there's something you've missed, because in capitalism, it isn't every man for himself, because you give someone something and they give you something in return of equal value.
Yeah.
So you've got to take that into account. I just check out Walsh do the almost full standing up. That I mean, you don't need to be an expert in body language to understand that's someone who wants to leave the room. Walsh has known since this started, and it started going terribly wrong for him, that he doesn't want to be there. And when Jesse, and Walsh will know, Walsh isn't stupid. I'm not accusing him of being stupid at all. He's a very intelligent bloke. He's just intelligent about the wrong ideas. But it hasn't gone as planned. And he's known that. And he knows he's contradicting himself. He knows that this is likely going to continue in this way. And when Jesse Lee Peterson says to him, "You're not being honest," he puts his hands on the side of the seat and pushes himself up off of the seat. That is a conscious decision. Humans don't make decisions like that. Isn't just something that happens. That he's made that decision. It made him feel comfortable. It allowed him to confirm with himself that he has the option to leave. I can still get up. I can just go, because he wants to. You'll see when people are uncomfortable in conversations, physically uncomfortable. That's their body and their expressions exposing them. They might be almost holding it together with words, but communication is about 90%. Expressions and body. It's only about 10% words when we're communicating like this. And just watch him physically get up when he's accused of being dishonest. It's incredible.
Or as individuals?
I would say as a group, there's more affecting white people than there is.
So white people work together as a group?
Yes, there's a lot of in-group
You're not
preference.
being honest.
No, I am. I'm absolutely being honest.
No, you're not.
Look, if I showed you that picture, that's either someone who's just arriving or someone who's just leaving. Wouldn't it? Yeah, there you go, Pags. The literal definition of shifty.
Who looks comfortable?
Yeah. Look, exactly. Look at those two. Who's not trying to win an argument? Who's just asking questions? And who's struggling? If you had to put your money on it, it's beautiful. Anyway, I'll take it back to 5 seconds, and
The group.
Yes, there's a lot of in-group
You're not being
preference.
honest.
No, I am. I'm absolutely being
No,
honest.
you're not being honest.
I'm absolutely
White
being
people
honest.
fight against each other.
Oh,
They're
yeah, no,
His legs crossed. I know a lot of you don't go for the body language thing and the micro expressions, but I really do. Not because I've studied it, I have though, but because I've seen it play out time and time again. I've seen the evidence, and I've seen the correlation between what's happening in the verbal language and what's happening in the body language. Watch Walsh's movement even after he sat down. Tension, pressure, letting it out, moving, cross the leg again, twiddle the foot again. We talked about it last time, those people whose legs are always on the go. Da, 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 da. If you ever sit with someone, I know people in the chat do it. It's quite a common thing. If you're ever with someone and they've got the old leg on the go, you might not even be having a conversation. You might just be waiting for your tea or something. Call them on it. Don't be aggressive. Don't be accusatory. But just say, have you noticed your legs going 10 to the dozen? And they'll know. They'll know. They won't go, oh yeah. They'll go, yeah, it does it all the time. And if you feel that they're up for it, get into a conversation about it. It will blow your mind. Because you say, why do you do that? And they'll say, I don't know. And that's the first lie. Because when they then say, well, when do you do it? Do you do it all the time? And they'll have answers. So when they say they don't know, what they mean is, I don't really want to talk about it. And it will take you 4 or 5 questions for them to tell you they're almost always stressed. And why would someone almost always be stressed? Why can't someone relax? I mean, we're all stressed at some points. Life is a battle. Life's a struggle. It's a fight for resources. You know, there's a fair amount of stress there. But when you're in a cafe with a so-called friend and you're just waiting for your tea to be delivered and the old leg's going 10 to the dozen, you know, there's a reason for that. That's a lot of energy being expended. And you don't want to be expending energy. You want to be, you know, it's a resource. So check him out how much he keeps moving.
Yeah, I'm absolutely being
No,
honest.
you're not being honest.
I'm absolutely
White
being
people
honest.
fight against each other.
Oh,
They're
yeah, no, of
jealous
course they
each
do.
other.
But
The hands, they're indicators. Hands out in front of him. Now, this you might think this is putting it too far, but do you remember the old horror films and even zombie films? Arms out in front. It's like you know, the old scary "I'm gonna strangle you." You know, look at it. Look at them. Why do they go up then? This is beautiful.
As a group.
Yes, there's a lot of in-group
You're not
preference.
being honest.
No, I am. I'm absolutely being
No,
honest.
you're not being honest.
I'm absolutely
White
being
people
honest.
fight against each other.
Oh,
They're
yeah, no,
Look at that. I am Dracula. How long do you reckon he's going to keep his feet in that position? He's got his right foot over his left. I don't know, by the way, but let's see.
Of
jealous
course
of
they
each
do,
other. They try to
we
get the
do
best
live.
from each other. They do the same thing normal people do.
They do, absolutely they do. I don't think white or black people
So
really
why
on a
do black
fundamental
people
level are
always?
different.
Why do you people always line black people up as a group? We're not a group.
Well, I
We are
studied,
individuals.
so I studied this in school. I'm very
This is the best thing in the world. When a conversation gets to I studied this, I'm really into it. I couldn't give a fuck, mate. I don't care. What? Just talk. Let's have the conversation. Don't tell me that you're interested in it. Don't tell me that you've studied it. Demonstrate it. Just demonstrate it. This is I can't believe, you know, I've watched this before, but I obviously wasn't paying this much attention. This is incredible. I don't know what he says next. I beg him to say I really care or something like that. I beg him to. Jesse Lee Peterson is accused him because Walsh has continually made a group of blacks. That you're a group, and he has whites. And I'm not saying that is a thing or isn't. What I'm looking at is the contradictions in Walsh and how he's having to release the pressure and tread carefully, because he knows that Jesse Peterson knows what he is. He knows that Walsh sees himself as superior to most people on the planet. And it's an easy gig for Jesse Lee Peterson because Jesse Lee Peterson plays the opposite game. He plays the I'm stupid game. And it couldn't be working better. This situation, it's like opposite poles. But Jesse can't lose because he's looking for the truth. And Walsh is falling apart here.
Group. We're not a group.
Well,
We're individuals.
So I studied this in school. I'm very interested
When
by
it
this.
goes-
He said it. He fucking said it. I studied this. I'm very interested in it. Oh, okay. That matters for fuck. I'm very interested in it. What response do you expect from someone when you say that? Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. You've studied it and you're very interested in it. Well, in that case, I'm wrong. What? What?
Yeah, to Jesse, the bloke that lived it.
Yeah, exactly. Literally was a corn picker. I mean, the thing is, it's like that's how you talk to children. Listen, I've done this job for 20 years and it's my life's passion. You know, that's how you talk to an idiot. That's amazing. I've got to watch it again. I've got to slow it down. I want to hear it in a real thick voice. Let's go for that one.
Really,
why do black
fundamental
people
level or
always?
different.
Why do you people always line black people up as a group? We're not a group.
Well,
We're
studied.
individuals.
So I studied this in school. I'm very interested.
When
this geezer is like one of the left's top in like sort of this is contemporary leftist intelligentsia. Like, you know, if I think back to the Marxists of the 20th century, of your Adornos, your Horkheimers, your who else is there? Who else could we say? Julia Kristeva. You know, these are very clever people. And this bloke, I'm really interested in it. I've read a book about it. It's incredible. You fucking ponce.
go back and get your money.
Get your money.
Brainwash you. They
Hey,
lied to
listen, let me tell you, if I could get that money back, ooh, I'd do it in a
you. Do
heartbeat.
you see now that they lied to you? Why do you? And
No,
that's
hold
why
on,
you
wait,
see
wait.
blacks
A quick
as
question.
victims.
A quick.
Look at that aggressive indicator, that hand. Look, wait, shut up. His foot moved as well, by the way, again. Look at his little beer gut there. I bet it's not a beer gut. I bet it's a vegan milkshake gut. No, I haven't got a problem with that, of course. Look at the hand. Look. It's like, no. Shut up. You're embarrassing me. It's really aggressive. If people start putting their hands up when you're talking, tell them not to. And you can do that. Can you say, look, you're all right. It's all right using your hands. But when you start putting them in the face, I don't want you to do that. There's no need for it. And if they say no, say, well, why are you doing it? Again, that's calling them out. Why are you doing it then? I'm not doing it to you. And as soon as you go down that rabbit hole of why you're doing it, it unravels very quickly.
Question. Do you believe improving the environment a person grows up in can increase the likelihood of them succeeding, owning property, getting wealthy?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like if you, for example, if you go to a better school, if your dad isn't locked up in prison, if you have more generational wealth, do you think these things increase the chance of you succeeding in the long term?
It does.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking, why don't you people recommend that black people get married and so they have good parents to guide them rather than putting
Look at that face. He's not only has he got the happy camper hand on the go, but he just doesn't want this. He does not look at it. It looks like someone's just told him his wife's died, or his boyfriend's died, or his boy wife's died. Look, he's coming so unstuck because he's used to debating at a higher level where the other person's playing the same games, and Jesse Peterson isn't. Look, why don't you? And he knows that if he says, actually, you're right, we, the white people, should tell black people to do this. Well, then he's got himself a whole other can of worms he's got to deal with there. So he's walked himself into a dialectic cul-de-sac here. And that's why he's got that expression on his face. That is a man who is scared. That is a man who is exposing himself. He'll know full well about all those movements. When you let that pressure out, when you let that tension out, you know about it and you know why you're doing it. It might be, we could call unconscious, but you're aware of it. And he knows that he's being, his road forward is getting smaller and smaller. And Jesse Lee Peterson hasn't actually said much. He hasn't actually. This is a Socratic dialectic. Jesse said, Walsh suggested something. Have you read Karl Marx? He was all smug then. But now Jesse Lee Peterson, using Walsh's own words, has got him in this really narrow corridor where he's got to tread very carefully because his entire reputation is at stake. And because of Walsh's admitted intelligence, I would suggest, and I'm picking this figure out of the air just to give you an idea. Half of his brain is probably thinking, I wonder how many of my fans, supporters, viewers, subscribers, whatever you want to call them, I wonder how many of them are seeing what I'm feeling. Do you know what I mean? I wonder how transparent I'm being because it feels fucking painful. It feels clear as day. That is a scared face.
Them in a victim box and making them think that they can't make it, and then using them to promote homosexuality, lesbian.
Oh,
lesbian.
Lesbiani.
I defend lesbians on my own time. I don't need no blacks.
So why
to do that.
you people put the blacks in a box to use them rather than telling them, being honest with them about what they really
we can compromise.
Not answering him. That's amazing. Why do you do something? No, I'm not going there. This is his escape route now. Now he's saying, why don't we meet halfway? That's actually, and I've been there. I've been in this situation many a time. That's backpedaling. Why don't we meet halfway? By which he means, let's redefine the direction of this conversation into an area where I feel more secure, more safe, and more powerful. Because at the moment, I'm weak. That's what's going on right now.
To the box to use them rather than telling them, being honest with them about what they really
We can compromise on this. I'll tell you what, I'll stop treating them like victims. I'll say, hey, you got to work hard. You got to overcome your status. At the same time, I can support for institutional reform that gives them, say, for example, more money to the public defenders.
How about encourage them to stop the crime? They will have to do the time.
It's great. You just see how simple it is. He said that I've just got to watch that again. He said, I'll meet you halfway. And he said something about them, the blacks, and then he said, as long as we also still do treat them as a group and give them more money.
Yeah, he's about to argue for all the things that they've been doing already for the black community since the 60s.
Since the civil rights movement.
Let's give them extra money for school. Let's give them extra money for police. Let's give them extra money for housing and food. Well, yeah, we've done that.
Let's give them extra money for having as many children as they want with 70% no fathers. Let's keep doing that. Yeah. And that's not meeting Jesse halfway. That's not meeting it. That's doing this. It's like the red arrows. It's like just he's just changing the direction of the conversation. Hello, Rollo. Yeah, exactly that, Rollo.
Well, yeah, but we met them halfway 50 years ago, and it was a good argument 50 years ago, but we've done that.
And
That hasn't worked.
No, far from it. It's created 70% fatherless homes.
Your status. At the same time, I can support for institutional reform that gives them, say, for example, more money to the public defenders.
How about
people who bunk
encourage them to
charges.
stop the crime? They will have to do the time.
I'll do both. Help their system and help the individual.
I
love helping
and
people.
So you don't think that
I love this great leftist intelligent bloke has been battered to the floor by Jesse Lee Peterson to the point where he has just said, I love helping people. He might as well have just said, my favorite color's red, or my favorite color's yellow, or my favorite food is fish and chips. I love helping people. I'm really interested in this. I've read books about this. This is ridiculous. It's like he's talking to someone who rhymes with beatard.
black conservatives should vote for Donald Trump.
Nah.
You don't think that?
I don't think anyone should.
You don't think
especially
that
not
black
conservatives.
conservatives should have their own minds to do what they want?
Oh, no.
and Jesse's just got it back on track. Ignored all that fluff. Ignored all that. What do they call it? When flack. Ignore. He's Walsh tried to put a lot of flack up to this, so that Jesse's aeroplane of debate had to go in a different direction. Jesse's just brushed it out the way. Now let's stay on track because I think it was going quite well actually. Brilliant.
You don't think
Especially
that
not
black
black
conservatives should have their own minds to do what they want?
Oh, no. They should be able to do what
Do
they
you
want.
think they should vote like the radical blacks who are voting for Democrats?
Absolutely.
So you don't think that black conservatives have the right to be individuals?
Oh, no. They have the right, and I have the right to disagree. Yeah.
And think and do for themselves.
Oh, they can totally do what they want. I have the right to complain about it.
So why are you
Free
putting
country.
them down for standing and being individuals?
It's not so much that I'm doing it for them being individuals. I'm putting them down for making bad decisions.
It's excellent. It's excellent. He's going to look back at that and think, I can't believe I just said that. I can't believe I just said that.
So you're saying blacks don't have the common sense to make good decisions for themselves?
A lot of people don't. I don't like
How about the black
whites who,
conservatives? They don't have the common sense to make decisions for themselves?
I would say that being a black conservative pretty much like categorically means you don't have much common sense, yeah.
To make decisions for themselves?
Yeah, at least politically.
And that's why you call Candace Owens a Nazi?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love calling Candace Owens a Nazi. She's pretty, isn't she?
Because she's black, she doesn't have sense enough to think and do for herself?
Oh, no. I call plenty of whites Nazis, too. Don't worry.
But Candace Owens is a conservative, and you just said conservative blacks don't have the common sense to think and do for themselves. So that's why you call Candace Owens a Nazi?
I think that a black Nazi probably is lacking some sense of self-preservation, but I call lots of folks Nazis, and I would say all conservatives probably lack in common sense. So,
What a peculiar bloke. What a peculiar bloke. No argument. He's now just literally name calling. I mean, this is going so badly for him. He's now name calling. Now, I know Jesse put it on a plate for him, but I'd like to think if I was in a situation where I was having a debate where I was trying to defend my political positions, or if not defend them, at least explain them, I wouldn't, if someone said, you called someone so-and-so, I'd say, yeah, it was just off. That's that, it was offhand. It was a stupid thing to say. I'm not perfect. It wasn't my finest moment. But Walsh is like, oh no, I love calling people Nazis. I call everyone Nazis. Well done. Hello, big nose. It's just ridiculous.
So don't worry, I ubiquitously distribute my dislike of conservatives.
And what
blacks,
is
whites.
in Candace Owens' situation? What is it about her that caused you to call her a Nazi?
That defending Hitler stuff was pretty out of left field, let me tell you. Because she said everything Hitler did within his own borders was fine. It was when he had ambitions abroad that when the trouble started.
And
But
why is she a Nazi for agreeing with that or saying that? I didn't hear her say it, but why is she a Nazi for having her own opinion?
Oh, I mean, the Nazis did have their own opinions too.
But why is she one as a?
He's not. That's not. That wasn't the last three questions. He hasn't. Yeah, you're right, Emma. It's especially at this state. I'm just going to have a little break. Alexander seems to be having problems. Did you say you tried to give me $100 and they didn't let you? That hurts. That hurts. Use buy me a beer. I'll take $10 if you want to use buy me a beer. But I'm seeing you having loads of troubles. Look, those last characters was me punching my keyboard. I hate this shit. Hello, my boy Tom. I've caught a live show, an interesting and fun one as well. Well, it is nearly 2 a.m. and I will be wrapping up soon, but lovely to see you. An absolute pleasure. Look, Alexander, fuck that. YouTube is quickly. What's happening? Are you not letting? Is it not letting you make comments or donate? Hello, fat. I might have to start calling you Chaff. But flack was the word, but chaff works as well, doesn't it? What's his name? There's one of those famous body language blokes, chaff and redirect. That's what he says. And that's what you, actually, fucking great play on that, fat. Chaff and redirect is exactly what Volsh has been doing for the last at least 3 minutes. Just throw something. Oh, I love calling people Nazis. Well, that weren't the question. Why are you calling Candice Owen a Nazi? Well, chaff, redirect. Now, so let's stick to the question. Look how red he's gone as well. Ah, it's beautiful.
Black conservative. Why is she one for have her own opinion?
I think that white Nazis are also bad.
I'm talking about Candice Owen now.
Oh, that she has every right to express her.
How many times has he crossed his legs compared to Jesse? Hasn't moved his legs once. He's not under any pressure. I mean, even if you don't buy the whole body language thing, you've got to have noticed that. Volsh is just like continually, like he's a kid at school who's in trouble. Jesse's just calm as you like.
Nazis are also bad.
I'm talking about Candice Owen now.
Oh, that she has every right to express her opinion. I have every right to call her very mean names for expressing those opinions.
Yeah, you have got a right to, like a child.
Do you hate black conservatives?
I hate conservatives. Do I hate black conservatives?
How about black ones?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I do love all people. But I hate black conservatives and white conservatives.
Why do you hate black conservatives?
I hate all conservatives, but black conservatives, because they have the gall of being conservative while having experienced more apropos than any other group in this country.
Telling a black man that's just, I don't think this is going to go well here.
What it means to be under the heel of a white supremacist state. It seems to me they're the ones who should have the greatest interest in voting against it.
Do you believe that America has always been a white supremacist state?
Since day one.
How is it that when I was growing up, under the Jim Crow laws, on the plantation, that black people did better than they are today?
Boom! It's just incredible. And I've seen Jesse say this countless times. They weren't all getting locked up. There's the story that's been told about that era. There's so many lies about it. And Jesse Lee Peterson's not the only person that's talked about it. He's talked about there was segregation. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but most people didn't follow it. They weren't interested. When the law changes, we're segregating everyone. You don't just go around to your neighbour's door and knock on it and go, oh, by the way, the law's changed, so I won't be coming to the barbecue on Saturday, and can you not talk to my kids? All right, ta-da, ta-da. The incarceration rates of so-called minorities in those days was minimal, a fraction of what it is since the civil rights movement. That's a fact. fatherless households have gone from something like 3%, and that was usually due to like injury or illness, to 74, I think it is at the moment. How can you? Ugh. Let's see what the name-calling liar has got to say about this.
They had families. They got married. Abortion was unheard of. They bought land. They built businesses. They became professionals. They went to college, those that wanted to go. And they did very, very well. If America is a
And by the way, Volsh, I was there.
Nazi country, why were blacks able to do better then than they are today?
Because white folk got more clever. Yeah, back.
Wow. Whites got more clever. That's incredible. What a thing to say. White people got more clever. What, evolutionary? What, in 50 years? Like one at best 2 generations? I don't think evolution happens like that. That's incredible.
In the day, way they discriminated against blacks, all on the books. Black people can't use this school, this water fountain. Nowadays, they're much more clever. Drug war, systemic deregulation of certain industries, stripping funds from ghettos.
Drug wars is just chuck that in there. There's no drug war, people. There's no drug war. A drug war requires a war requires 2 sides. There's no other side to the drug war. You want to buy any drug, you can just buy it. You can buy it on the internet. You can go to most major. Everywhere I've been in the world, I've been able to get whatever drug I wanted. Usually, I mean, if it was something a bit obscure like acid, it might take me a couple of days. But crack, heroin, cocaine, couple of hours, max. You know, there's no drug war. There's no drug war.
That way, you keep the blacks in line, but you do it without a single racist law in the books. And things have gotten worse. You're right.
What is wrong with black people that they allow themselves, because they were not like that prior to.
How did white people become cleverer and black people not?
You know, after the civil rights movement, what is wrong with black people that they allow themselves to be kept in a certain place or used in that way today?
I don't think there's anything
because
wrong
they
with
didn't.
that.
Before he goes into it, that this is something that I'm surprised has never really been brought up on the right. I'm going to make a video about the rights, how wrong the right has got the so-called mental illness epidemic, but that's for another conversation, another time. Oh, that's thrown me. What was I going to say? Oh, bollocks. I'll probably remember in a minute. Hang on.
Civil rights movement. What is wrong with black people that they allow themselves to be?
Oh, yeah, there you go. White supremacy, which I never hear defined. It's never defined. And when it is, it isn't. You know, it's just, it's chaffed and redirected. Thank you, Fat. If white supremacy exists, then whites are superior. You cannot have a racial supremacy unless you have a racial supremacy. Do you see what I'm saying? So any leftist who talks about white supremacy, oh, well, this country was built on white supremacy. What? It was built on the fact that white people are more intelligent. If you say that, they're like, no, that's not what it is. Well, what is it then? Because it's like they're either superior or they're not. And if they're not, there's no white supremacy. It's its own burning contradiction.
Kept in a certain place or used in that way today.
I don't think there's anything
because
wrong
they
with
did
that.
not allow that prior to the civil rights movement. What's wrong with them, the men and women in the black families and black community, that they allow that to happen to them today?
That's kind of like,
and that's the question essentially that Jesse Lee Peterson is asking there. If Walsh is saying, which he did, whites become cleverer, which is another way of becoming they become superior. So what happened to the blacks? If the whites become superior, why do the blacks let them? Why have the blacks let them since the civil rights movement? And it's a fucking really difficult question for Walsh to answer without getting further in shit that he's already up to his neck in.
The civil rights movement. What's wrong with them, the men and women in the black families and black community, that they allow that to happen to them today?
That's kind of like asking what a wife did to deserve getting beaten by her husband.
No, it isn't. No, that's such a disingenuous answer. It isn't. It's a false equivalence, and you're bottling it. It's a false equivalence. You think black people are less intelligent than white people, or you wouldn't be able to believe in white supremacy, and you've come up with this bullshit idiom that makes no sense in this context.
Don't you think? I don't think they did anything wrong. I think they were the victims of an abusive
But
system.
what is wrong with them that they can't overcome circumstances?
It's brilliant, Jesse. Just stay on track with that one question that he still hasn't answered.
As everyone else are doing.
I mean,
what is
because
wrong
they're
with
targeted
the
against
blacks?
them.
I mean, the Asians haven't had this. The Asians haven't had any of these problems. They're earning more than anyone in America.
What is wrong with them that they can't overcome the target against
Still going on it. It's brilliant.
them?
It's because conservatives in government hate black people, so they.
Now it's that. Now it's not that whites become cleverer, which is an insane thing to say anyway. Within 50 years of evolution, but now it's because conservatives in government. Okay.
Very specifically target black people when they're looking for ways to.
Do you hate?
Wasn't it the Democrats though that inspired black families to have more and more babies so they could get more and more welfare and the fathers do the off? Was that conservative governments?
Black people?
I love black people.
How are you able to do so well and they are not?
Well, for one, I was born to upper middle class parents. I was born in Beverly Hills. I went to an incredibly good school district. I was able to get funding from my parents to help me with my education. I had contacts.
Why
with my
not
parents'
recommend that for them instead of
I don't know if I can recommend they get born to upper middle class parents, but
you can't recommend that they, because most of the children, 70% of black babies born out of wedlock. Is that good for black people?
Oh no, not at all.
Does it hurt them?
Oh yeah.
In what way?
Oh, I mean, it's huge. If you're a single mother raising a kid, statistically more likely for them to commit one crime, for them to be locked up in jail, lower household income. Absolutely.
So why not recommend that they overcome that? Stop doing that.
I do, and I by the way, I vote for systemic changes that'll make
I do. I'm interested in it. I've read books about it.
it more likely for them to stop doing.
What is a man?
I think a man is someone who identifies as one.
Oh, you can't use it. You can't use the word in the definition. This is basic. You know, what's water? I think it's water. Okay, that helped.
What is love?
Do I want to go edgelord on that? I think that love is an evolved, socialized form of a chemical we experience.
Yeah, you would do. You loveless, leftist, lying, disingenuous clown.
Drives us to breed.
What is a Nazi?
I would say that a Nazi is somebody who believes in white supremacy, who believes that an international cabal of Jewish people are using immigration from the third world to propagate sort of the destruction of the white race.
Oh, really? And you don't think it might be the National Socialist Party in Germany in the 1940s and late 1930s? It's ridiculous.
White?
I am.
Are you Jewish?
I am not Jewish.
But you're
I've
white.
been told I'm Jewish.
And so are you a Nazi?
I am not a Nazi.
And what made you not? Why is it that you're not a Nazi? You're white and you live well, you're doing well, you live in Beverly Hills.
I love black people.
Why is it that you're not? You don't love black people?
I do.
Oh, that was an ugly, nervous smile. I'm going to try and pause it. Did you see it, Packer? Did you see his? Yeah, I thought he did. Because of my screen so fucked, I can only see like your nose upwards. Usually I get to see your reaction, but
I love
when
black
he's-
people.
but hello, Ultra Mega Essex boy. Nice to see you, mate. Tax Insurance and Accessories says Volsh is literally an actor who was constructed. Yeah. He's the large. He's your classic white liberal large language model. Yeah, absolutely. You know what he is, Bill? He's scared of them. He's scared. Most of your white liberals, they're the reason they are always defending and making excuses for black people is because they're the ones who have an inherent fear of them. But they can't allow themselves to come to terms with that. I got a mate and I said to him once, I said, you're walking down the road with your pregnant missus at midnight. There's a gang of blacks on one side and a gang of whites on the other side. What way do you take? And he went, oh, I wouldn't, it wouldn't change my decision. And I just thought, well, the thing is, I am prepared. I am prepared through pattern recognition, through statistics, to know what decisions to make when I lived in central London for decades.
It's called evolution, Chris. Don't worry.
Yeah.
This problem will sort itself out.
And it you know, Volsh continually makes it, you know, we already know there's this, again, another fragile, burnt dialectic. Diversity is a strength, but we're all the same. That is, you know, it's a leftist mess. It's so stupid to try and hold those two thoughts simultaneously. It's just bizarre. And I'm going to try and stop his face when he says, I love black people, because it's a nervous smile. And I don't believe it in the slightest. Let's see if I can get it.
Are you doing well? You live in Beverly
Well,
Hills?
I love black people.
Why
so.
is that?
No, I missed it.
And you live well? Are you doing well? You live in Beverly
Well,
Hills?
I love black.
Look, that's the sort of face you pull when you've just told a joke. What do you think of that one, Jesse? That's that face. That's that expression.
He
The
says
eyes
it,
don't-
sits back and relaxes, and then he has to shift again because he's not happy.
You're getting this so well, Paco. I missed that. I missed it. He's now he's leaned back. It's a great call. It's a great call because he thinks he said the right thing. He thinks he said the right thing. He thinks he's getting back on track. Oh my days! What a peculiar person. You know, when I was a communist, all through my life, let me know, people, if you know this feeling or this experience in life. The classic example is a partner. So you're with a bird or you're with a bloke, whatever, you know, and you've been with them, say, 6 or 7 months, and you know it's getting a bit more serious or whatever. And then one day you just have this tiny little thought, I don't know about this relationship. It's just that, just a tiny little thought. They do something or say something, or you just out of the blue just think, I don't know about this. I might have been happier before. And it's not only partners. It could be a project you're doing. It could be a new job you've got. It could be a book you're writing. It could be a bit of programming, a bit of coding you're doing. But when you get that first little hint that you might not be totally into this, I've learned over the years that that's usually the end of it. It might take a bit of time, but that little glint of a second thought on the situation tends to, you know, it's like a little bit of rot in a bit of metal, a little bit of rust that becomes a hole. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Did anyone experience that? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's just a little bit of what's the word? Uncertainty. There's a little bit of uncertainty creeps in. Oh, Jed's on the firm. Hello, mate. A little bit of uncertainty creeps in. And as young people, you usually just drop it out. That's why your parents call you, there you go, Dottie, a seed of doubt. Yeah. But what the seeds do, they grow, don't they? And when you're a kid, that's why your parents are continually calling you a 5-minute wonder. Mum, I love BMXs. I want a BMX. Buy me a BMX for Christmas. Buy me a BMX. You get a BMX 2 months later. Mum, I love conjuring. Buy us a pack of cards. You know, and then because as a kid, you're not worried about your identity. It's, you know, I mean a kid, not a teenager, because by the time you're a teenager, it's all about identity. But as a, you know, before pre-pubescent, really, it's all 5-minute wonders because you're just trying to find out who you are. And you don't care. You know, you have a girlfriend when you're 11 or 10 or whatever, and you just think, I don't like her. You just tell her, I don't want to see you anymore. And she's like, oh, all right. Because it don't really mean anything. But when you're an adult, I've learned that if I get a glint, if I get that little seed of doubt, as Dottie put it, I do my best to focus on it. I don't put it out to the back because I'm trying to tell myself something important. Now, it doesn't mean it can't be solved. You know, if it's like a relationship, it could be, oh, I don't know about this. I'm having second thoughts whether this is going to work out. But you can talk to the person about why seeds of doubt have been sown. And they might be able to reassure you. They might be able to say, yeah, I know I'm being a bit clingy. I do know that. I apologize. Let's see if we can work through this. And you can. And even with a project, you know, I've on my Substack, I've published 36 short stories. Link in the description. No paywall. You can donate though. But I've also got about 40 that I've started and stopped in my drafts. You know, I'm like, oh, I've got a wicked idea for a short. And I'll start writing it. You know what? I might publish them actually. I might stick up all my non-starters because they're quite funny. Because what I do, I write my feeling as I lose faith in it. There's a story and it's like goes here. Then this happened. Then this happened. Like, what the fuck is this I'm writing? This is nothing. And I actually write that. I think I'll stop this here, and that's it. But they're all still there. And some of them I've gone back to, and actually they've become something. But this has been a seeds of doubt moment, and he can't have that. He cannot accept that he has got a fear of black people. And that's only my opinion, of course, but it's based on quite a lot of evidence, and I see it in a lot of white liberals.
That you don't love black people.
I do love black people. I love them, and I love
black
you.
People.
I love black people. Why would I hate black people?
Because you recommend the worst for them instead of the good.
But we agree.
But let me ask you, why is it that you're not
Look, a sensible person, if he said to me, "You don't love black people," I'd go, well, okay. I can't prove it. You know, if you don't think so, no problem. But Walsh doesn't do that. He's desperate to let Jesse know he needs it. He needs this is his identity. He's a white savior, and not of white people, by the way. Look, you know, he's more intelligent than this, but he's been reduced to almost a childlike state. Why is he just, you never see Walsh like this in conversation. This is amazing.
You're doing well, you live in Beverly Hills.
I love black people.
Why is it
once
that you don't love black people?
I do love black people.
Twice.
I love them,
You
and I
hate
love
black
Three.
you.
people.
I love black
No.
people.
4.
Why would I hate black people?
Because you recommend the worst for them instead of the good.
But we agree.
But let me
We
ask
should
you, why
encourage
is it
them.
that you're not a Nazi?
Well, I grew up with parents who were pretty liberal, so maybe if I'd grown
What a surprise.
up with Nazi parents, I could have been a Nazi. Also, I grew up in a very Jewish neighborhood.
And
so
tell me again, what is a Nazi?
I would say a white supremacist who believes that the Jewish people are orchestrating a conspiracy to destroy white people.
And what is a white supremacist?
Somebody who believes either that white people are superior than other races.
Yeah, you said that. You said that about 5 minutes ago. You said that the whites got cleverer. And you're white. So, according to your own definition, you're a Nazi. It's just ridiculous. He just said it.
Or that they should orchestrate some kind of society that prioritizes white people as like an in-group preference. Kind
So
of thing.
Louis Farrakhan believed that blacks are superior
Farrakhan is a lunatic.
to whites.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
And that he wanted a state with just black.
Yeah, Art Packer, he done his leaning back, arm over the chair move again there. Oh, I ate Farrakhan as well. Yeah. No, don't worry, me and you. Yeah, high five, Jesse.
Blacks only. And there are other black people who feel that way too.
But at the beginning, wasn't Walsh talking about group identities? You're a man, I'm a man, we fight for our group identity. He was talking about class consciousness. But what the modern Marxists like Walsh do, they take the class out of it and they put race and gender in its place. That's the sort of twister-rooney that the sort of so-called modern Marxists have done. And now he's arguing against that. That's suddenly white supremacy. I wonder what Ed feel about, as he's already said, if I remember rightly, and don't quote me on this, but I think he already said that blacks should have this and have that and have this and work as a group. Now, due to what he just said, what his second definition of white supremacy, that makes them black supremacists.
Are they black supremacists?
Oh yeah, no, I don't like those people at all.
They're no different than a white person who think that way?
They're pretty much in the same ballpark, yeah.
There are Mexicans who feel that way too, about that they are better than any other race.
I've never met a Mexican supremacist.
But there are Mexicans who think they're better than whites and blacks. Are they Mexican supremacists?
I admit, I've never met them. They probably do exist.
Can I just say at this point, this is a good argument. I've never seen a chicken lay an egg. Can I just say that? I've never actually seen a chicken lay an egg. Okay? In case anyone makes that argument. I've never seen.
Yeah, that was a nonsense. He's getting uncomfortable. He done his stand-up bit again. You know, I guess I'm an Arsenal supremacist.
I admit, I've never met them. They probably do exist, though. Yeah, they'd be Mexican supremacists. I hate
What is that sitting up thing? It's so weird. Oh, it would look like I've got a donation or someone who's being celebrated for their. Oh no, here we go. Alexander managed to get 50 knocking. I'm not allowed to make a proper comment, so here's some support anyway. YouTube auto moderation is criminally insane. Alexander, I've seen you fussing and fretting. I apologise. I mean, you're trying to do something nice, and I really appreciate you sticking with it. That's much appreciated. Thank you. And yeah, it's ridiculous. I've never had it, but when I leave comments on YouTube channels, because I try to protect my channel, because I might have to go full-time YouTube soon, the way business is going. And so I just can't risk losing my channel. So I tread on eggshells with my comments anyway. But I can understand it's frustrating when you just want to say something you believe in. Very, very strange. Arse boils, piles like Marx. Right, hang on, give me a couple of seconds. I have to check over on the stories. Is she a beautiful lady, Joanne Guest? Good Lord. Right, anyway, not much more of this.
This idea.
Packer, were you going to say something? No, okay.
Of men and women who are in the fallen state believe that they're better than the other person. So anyone who feels that way is a supremacist, right?
No, it has to be a categorical racial thing. Like, for instance,
well, there you go. So he has now confessed it's a racial thing, whereas at the beginning, when he talked about Karl Marx, he talked about class consciousness. Well, that's the area. He certainly talked about class. What was the word he said? Well, he talked about class. That's enough.
Why does it have to be a categorical racist?
Well, there are some people, like, for example, my girlfriend in the audience probably likes me more than you just because I live with her, right? But she doesn't believe that I was endowed at birth because I'm white with a higher intellectual capacity. I bet she believes she's better than you. Maybe.
Is that supremacist?
No, because it's not a racial sort of construct that she's expressing. That
this is an incredible angle by Jesse here, because well, you'll see. I can't remember. I didn't watch as far as this, but the idea of supremacy is being pulled apart brilliantly. Hello, Ludwig. How are you, son?
Supremacy for.
So it have to be.
I'm taller.
What do you mean by it has to be a racial thing? It mean that any race that feel that they are superior to another race?
Yeah, I don't like it when
so
people
Louis
feel.
Farrakhan and Jeremiah Wright Jr. and all those people who hate the Jews and hate the whites, are they black supremacists?
Yeah, they're basically black Nazis. I mean, they've gone right around the other side. But
and are they black supremacists?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't like those people.
I'm sorry?
I don't like those people at all because I love black people and I think that they harm black people.
6th time he said that.
That they harm black people?
Yeah.
In what way?
I think that a lot of people, when they want to think of radical black activism, I want to think of stuff like Black Lives Matter or institutional reform to the prison system. But
Black Lives Matter just rioted the whole country and cost billions of dollars to millions of innocent people. Yeah, nice. They done. You know, they've been called out by so many black communities for giving them like 200 quid. Meanwhile, they bought loads of nice houses in big gated white communities. Good Lord, you're a fool, man.
When they do their reform, Louis Farrakhan, what have you, they make people think that black radical reformists are like crazy black supremacists, like Wakandaites, and that's not what I'm here for. That's
do black people have the right to complain about white people? What they have done and what they are doing? Do they have the right to complain about white people?
Yeah, free country.
So black people have the right to complain about whites, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what gives them the right to complain about whites?
I mean, I think, freedom of speech. I think they have every right in the world to complain or express their grievances in a way that doesn't harm other people,
And so are they black supremacists for complaining about white people?
Nah, I mean, hey, I complain about women all the time, but I'm not sexist against women.
I bet you.
That's because you fuck men.
Not.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
And so black.
Oh, that was ugly. That was an ugly kind of we're friends. I've watched your show before.
Black people don't have. Black people have the right to complain about white people.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have the right to hate white people?
I don't like it. No, I don't like hating racial groups. Even if you're like super, I wouldn't support like Jews hating Egyptian people back in the Prince of Egypt days either. I just don't like.
So do black people have the right to hate white people?
They have the right. I don't like it. They have the legal right to. I don't like it.
So black people have the right to hate white people?
Legally, yes. Freedom of speech.
And are they black supremacists for hating and complaining about white people?
I think you can hate somebody without thinking you're better than them. I don't know if I'd call them black supremacists for that.
So are black people black supremacists for hating and complaining about white people?
No, only if they think they're better than white people, like
so,
racially.
And they do think that. So are black people black?
I do think that.
Supremacists for hating, complaining, and thinking that they're better than white people.
If they think they're better than white people, yes, absolutely, they're black supremacists.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go, people. A very peculiar interview there. I mean, I knew it was weird the first time I see it, but I didn't pay so much attention to it. I think Volch got exposed there frequently. I think there's a definite undercurrent there. I'm gonna have to think about it a bit more to get a proper take on it. But what do you make of that, Packer?
I love Jesse. I would love to go out and spend an evening with Jesse in the pub and have him spend 2.5, 3 hours telling me what a git I am. And me laughing along and going, yeah, actually, you're probably right there.
I will get, I send 2 or 3 emails out a week to people well above my station asking them if I can go on their show or if they'll come on mine. I will do it to Jesse. I get blanked. I get ignored. I never get replies, but I'll give it a go. I'll see if I can get on there. I'll see if I can.
You can't argue with his logic, can you? You've got a coffee, by the way. Check your coffee.
Oh, amazing. Well, I want to thank Alexander for another 20 knock, but I want to thank him more for him saying Scrubs are the most beautiful people ever online. Nice one, Alexander. That's very kind. They are. I love this channel. I love this community. And I might be going full time soon, which by full time, I mean a video every day and at least 2 streams a week. I will need your support though, but hold tight. If I'm making a video every day, the channel will grow. So there'll be more people to support it. I'm not saying, by the way, I'll need 20 quid off each of you every stream. But it might come to that, man. It might come to that. It says I've got 8 here. I must have missed. Have I missed anyone in the? If you've sent me a super chat and I haven't replied to it, let me know in the chat because I thought I only read 7. Yeah, I might have to, Rollo. I mean, listen, business is going all right. It ain't what it was, that's for sure. But my dream is to earn a living being a writer and being like a YouTuber, telling stories. What I just done was tell a story. I told a story, essentially. That's what a reaction video is. That's what streaming is. That's what making videos is. That's what writing is. And the reason I can't make a video every day and the reason I can't stream 2 or 3 times a week like I used to is because I'm trying to write a book, and I'm trying to get it in the shops before November. And I found out yesterday that that's only 4 weeks away. And I'm fucking knackered. And I said to my missus the other day, I said, listen, I might have to take a bit of a risk here and just get out of that business. And then I could wake up in the morning, make a video. That takes about 3 hours. Then write for 5 hours. And then I'm free for the rest of the day. Whereas at the moment, I wake up, I work until about 10 o'clock at night. And then if I've got any energy left, I'll do a stream like I have tonight. But there's problems there, but that's another thing. But like after this, it's 2:30 in the morning and I want to do 4 hours writing tonight. If I don't do 4 hours writing tonight, the book doesn't get written. I know this is obvious, but do you see what I'm saying? Now, I might have to take a risk and just go for it. And if YouTube doesn't feed me and house me and allow me to build an house in the jungle, I'll have to sell that land and my missus will start crying. And I'll have to write and just keep writing. And I hope that works because
I so want to build you a house in the jungle, even if it's just to save me the bother.
Well, I've got to get the Scrubs wall up. I'll tell you what, if it turns out that I go out there and just build a wall so that I can, get all those names, in a way, that'll be even better, wouldn't it? Like a monolith, the Scrubs monolith. And then
just a wall to hide behind.
At the bottom, put once upon a time, a man was going to build a house in the jungle, but but because he thought he could be a writer, he lost all his money and was skinned. But out of fair play and good manners, he still built the Scrubs wall. If any of you know, for 20 quid or $20, I don't know how it works, you can get your name on the Scrubs wall, which will be on my house in the jungle. And at the moment, it's very big. That is all the names that are going on the Scrubs wall. We've got a whole page there. And then we've got half that page, well, third of that page there. And I thank you all for that, because those donations have gone straight into the house account. But a wall too far. Ludwig suggests I do a Tarzan treehouse swinging from the vines. I'd be up for it, but Jedi quotes Trump, a big beautiful wall. Baz says, is this £800 page book, £800, sorry, I got money on the brain. Is this 800 page book the same as the book? Right, the 800 page book I've been working on for nearly 8 years, maybe 9. The reason I can't, there's 2 reasons I can't publish it. One, it's not, although I have published another novel years ago, but I need to build up more of an audience. My Substack has done that. My Substack's been phenomenally successful. I get so many reads, not lately because I haven't put anything new up because I'm writing another novel. But the 800-worder, when you publish on Amazon, you have to pay by page. So you pay for there's a standard amount you have to pay just to put it on Amazon. Then there's other sort of admin payments, but you have to pay per page. Now, for me to put an £800-page book on Amazon, I haven't done the maths exactly. Well, I have, but I've forgotten. ChatGPT done it for me. I'd have to charge about 35 quid to make 4 quid a book. And it takes a lot of work from the reader. So my plan, don't get me wrong, it's the best thing I've ever written. I'm so proud of it. I think it's incredible. And after 8 years, you'd hope so, really. But I'm going to get out 3 or 4 more commercial novels. I've just proven to myself that I can get the heavy lifting of one done in 7-8 weeks. This new one that's coming out is very commercial. It's easy on the reader. That doesn't make it bad, but it's very different from the 800-page one. That will get published one day, but I've got to do this write, publish, repeat thing. Build up an audience, get 4 or 5 novels out and selling, and then I'll drop the big bomb. It's a strategy. Yeah. But don't get me wrong, this one, it's a fair question, Baz, and I do need to answer it. $20 a stream. I don't know if 20 knock counts as $20. I don't know how much 20 knock is, but I don't think it's $20. And it's not fair to other people. John says, get a trade. Well, I've got one. I'm a writer. That's what I mean. I saw a video the other day, and it was about a writer who said he always wanted to be a writer, and he had an office job, and he had 2 kids, and he had a wife. And one day he just got up, walked out of the office, said to the boss, I'm done here, got home, said to the missus, we've got enough money to live on for 7 months. I'm going to be a writer. They ended up living in a caravan with 2 kids. He had to take them out of their schools as well and teach them at home, not because he wanted to, but because they were skint. And he ended up being a multi-millionaire, multi-book selling. And he says in the interview, if you want to do it, you've got to do it. And I'm 52, 53 or something like that now. And I think that pressure might make me do it. And I love making YouTube videos. What I hate is not having the time. You know, I've just had to write a 20,000 word lock picking video, right? I've had to write the script for it. I asked ChatGPT how long, and I told it what it was for. It was a training. It's for a training video. How long it would take for me to say those words. And it said roughly between 70 and 90 minutes. Now I talk pretty fast, but I'm going to have to be training. I'm going to have to be saying things like the binding pin happens because the holes in the plug aren't perfectly bored. The reason we can pick locks is because of manufacturing defects. The pins aren't all the same size. We call this tolerances, manufacturing tolerances. Now, you heard that. That's fucking slow talking. So I'm looking at the larger end of that, 90 minutes, right? Let's say 100 minutes. I've had a load of animations made. I've had a load of diagrams made. But I haven't had 90 minutes of animations and diagrams made. I've had about 6 minutes of them, because you don't need to show the same animation 1,000 times. Now, that means I've got to edit a video that could be an hour and a half long. That's going to take, well, just think about it. Because when I'm talking about things like there's an introduction to the video where I'm like, listen, this is almost verbatim the script. It's like, listen, you've made the hardest, you've done the hardest part, you've started, you've bought a pick set and you've got a training video. I can give you all the knowledge, I can give you all the understanding. If you're prepared to put the patience in and the practice in, within a year, you'll be able to open 80% of the pin cylinder locks in the world. Guarantee you. And nearly every vehicle, guarantee you. If you put in the time and the patience. Right, that goes on for about another minute. Now, I can't use any animations and diagrams for that because they just won't make sense. So I've got to get on YouTube and find images that fit what I'm saying. Now, I've got a lockpicking YouTube channel with about 100, 200 hours of content, but I've still got to flick through it. I've still got to get it. I've still got to edit that on OpenShot, free editing software on my 10-year-old computer that crashes. So I've got to make this video in like 10 sections. I'm not complaining. I really am complaining, aren't I? I can't say that. But I'd rather complain about work I've got than work I haven't. You know, there's people who haven't got jobs and they're skint, so I get that. I have got a job and I'm skint. That's time I could be writing a novel. And I said to my missus, I told my missus, and she said, do what you think's best. But it would break my heart. It would break. I don't mind living in a one-room fucking bedsit somewhere, living on white rice and white rice and fish. But that poor girl, I took her from a very horrible life and promised I'd give her a good life, and I have. She loves it. You know, she never dreamt she'd have a life where she could afford food, afford medical treatment when required. Simple things like that. And then it would break I love her, and it would break my heart to one day say to her, we can't afford to live in this house. And this is like $120 a month. And it'll be like, what, just because you want to write books? It's difficult, isn't it? It is a difficult one, life. Right, I'm not forgetting someone did someone make a donation over on Buy Me a Coffee, did you say, Packer? Jed, he's made a video. Jedi, do you want me to play that video on the video now?
Well, I made you a donation, Chris.
What, over on there?
No, on here.
Oh, hang on. So did John Palmer. John Palmer made 2. So did Jed. But Jed made a video. Jed, let me know in the Packer. Keep an eye out for Jed's comment. Can you in the chat? I'll find your donation. Hang on a minute. You've got a name on the wall, haven't you?
No, but we haven't got Kilroy was here.
You want that one on there?
Well, what wall is complete without Kilroy was here? If you're going to put names on a wall.
That's very kind of you, Packer. I'll put it in there right now. That 20 quid's going to be going on spare Dremel blades to write Kilroy is here.
What was the other one? It was some dude with a nose, and it was what nose, wasn't it?
Yeah, it used to be on the electricity plants. It had a plus and a minus, and you used to be able to draw a line, and it was a plus and a minus with 2 lines. You could connect the lines into a nose, draw a line. I think it was called a Chad.
Yeah, and it was always what nose something, wasn't it?
Yeah, you'd just add to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'll
right. So
hang on, I'll show you.
For those of you that have already got your name on the wall, but you feel like donating, what nose?
Packer. On those old electricity substations, there was a bit like that. Plus minus with 2 lines, yeah?
Right.
And what people would do would fill in that bit. I know you can't see it.
Make it a nose. 2 eyes.
Put an head over the top. Sometimes there'd be hands as well. They'd put over. This isn't the best one. And they'd make it. It's not the best one, but they'd make it something like that, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And then it'd be like what no, and then something like culture.
So for 20 quid, you can have what no Nazis, what no, whatever you like.
Kilroy was here. Thank you, Packer. That's very, very, very kind. What was happening? Right, hang on a minute. I've got. Has Jedi in the chat said he wants his video on the screen or not? Or has he not answered?
I think to be fair.
Jedi's put a video up on the old Buy Me a Coffee. And he's hello, Mr. Gold. I didn't know where you were. I've been writing my fucking novel, which is I've just been talking about. That's why, and running a business and not sleeping. But that's why it was called a guilty absence stream. That's why you've asked. I've got to get this novel finished and it on Amazon in 4 weeks, 5 or 6, but I've got to get it before Christmas. I've done so much marketing that if I don't get it in Amazon before at the latest the middle of November, all that marketing will go to waste. I'm looking at that Christmas present list. Buy 5 of my novels, and don't worry, I'll make a video about how you can make my dream come true. If everyone buys 5 copies for Christmas presents, I'll make enough money out of that novel to keep me going and get another one written, and I can be a writer to make a living as a writer. That's my dream, and it has been since I was 18. Anyway, I can't see. Jedi's probably gone for a piss or something. You don't need to apologise. No one needs to apologise here unless they're really silly. Oh, what, the title of the new one? No, you ain't getting that yet. You ain't getting that yet. It's good though. I've got it because I've got a designer working on the cover, but I need a subtitle, and this is where it gets really annoying. These are the sorts of things that just piss me off because I had a subtitle which I thought was hilarious. I'll tell you what it was: a memoir-y, which is it's a 14-year-old who wrote the book. That's the idea. It's a journal of a 14-year-old in 1986. And I thought a memoir-y, because he's an idiot and he's a kid. So he thought a memoir, but he got it wrong. And then all my friends who've published on KDP have said, listen, I know you want it funny or slick, but you need to work Amazon's SEO. You need it to say what it is. You need to say an 80s teenage diary. And I'm like, fuck that. And they're like, well, fuck that and don't sell any. And then fuck you. And I'm like, you know, that's why you look on Amazon, you look at the bestsellers. They're not, unless they're established authors, they're like they're talking to children with the titles. The time I went to Las Vegas and got married twice. You know, they're things like that. Because you're competing with another 20 book covers. It's a difficult. It's annoying. It's annoying being a failure. I tell you, I think I've told you this story. There's a YouTube channel called Film Courage. They done an interview with an American writing teacher called Jack Grapes, who's actually a genius. I don't believe you can teach people to be a great writer, but I think you can improve people's writing. And one of his things is called the transformational line. I made a video about it. Jack Grapes contacted me and he said, we love your video. Can we use it? We're setting up a big social media thing and we'd like to use your video. And I'm over the moon because I just, you know, when you're a failed writer, you dine out on crumbs like this. When Will Self said to me in an email, frankly, Chris, I seek to emulate you. I'm running around the room like a lunatic. You know, one of Britain's most successful writers and journalists seeks to emulate me. You know, the first thing I ever sent off got published. You hear about people, you know, oh, I got 1,000 turn downs. The first thing I ever sent off when I was about 22, I got a check in the post, a contract. I was like, so over the years, you know, you dine out on these crumbs. And I wrote to Film Courage and I said, oi, Jack Grapes wants, you know, the video. I made a video of your video about him and they want to use it. And I said, and I thought it might be good for your channel to interview a failed writer because I'm 53. What has kept me going all these years? And I said, and let's have it right. Most of your viewers, because it's mainly about screenwriting, but they do prose writing as well. But it doesn't really matter because it's a lot of industry stuff rather than the actual writing process. And I said, let's have it right. Most of the people who watch your channel, if not all of them, aren't successful writers. They're failed writers. That's why they're watching your channel. And I think it'll be good. And she got back to me and she said, this is a great, hello, Woodlander. You all right, son? And she got back to me about a day later. And she said, what an amazing idea. She said, can you meet us in LA next week? And I got back to her and said, I live in Cambodia. And then she said, that's no good. And I said, this is a classic example of the sort of things that we have to put up with. Because me being on your show will probably shift me a load of units because obviously they'll promote my novel and I'll get to mention it and I'll put on a good show. Do you know what I mean? And I wrote back to him. Just recently. I said, I'm not ready to let this go. I said, I've got a green screen. I can make my video. Oh, actually, you can see the corners. Look. I said, I can make my video look just as good as if I'm there. And she got back to me and she said, all right. She said, we've got problems because David, who's a producer, he's got family problems. She said, and we can only give like 2 or 3 days notice. And I wrote to her, I said, you give me 2 days notice, whatever time of day, I will do that. I will do that. And I would. And I know because it's LA time, it will probably be like 5 a.m. for me. But you just have to do it. You just have to do these things. Almac, have you seen Devon? I have seen Devon back on YouTube. I talked to Devon off of YouTube. We're mates, aren't we? But Yeah, he's doing another 3 months. He's got, for people who don't know, if you want to find it, it's called AIU Resurrection. I think there's a hyphen there as well. And it's great. It's classic Devon Tracy. He doesn't fuck about. Excuse me. Thank you, Al. I might ask Devon if he wants to come on, actually. That might be quite cool. Rollo says, we are privileged to have your time, Chris. This is now a grift for us to chip in. Your flight, to chip in on your flights, I'm in. I ain't flying out to America. I can't get in. I've got too much previous. They won't let me in. I know that. I've got previous for possession. I've got previous for conspiracy to supply. I ain't getting into America. Backer, I'll meet you halfway, Patong. any day. That's very kind of you, though, Rollo. But yeah, nah. Why does that say 11 now? Oh, that was Al's one. Thank you, Al. Right, I've just got to do. I think Jed's done the off. He hasn't answered. I certainly don't want to show his video. I don't want to show his video without his consent because he might not have wanted me to show it. But what I will show if I can sort it out is John Palmer, double bubble. Look at that. Bosh. He says, I love black people, but not as much as Toffee does. And he also sent another one, have a coffee. Look at that. Look at JP. He actually put his hand in his pocket after sending one so that he could insult Toffee. I respect a man who pays to insult. Nice one, JP, and nice one, Jed. But Jed sent a video, and I'm not going to play that without his permission. And I don't know whether he's gone to the pisser or gone to bed or gone to work. John says he's here. No, I've seen him in the chat, but I haven't seen him answer and say you can show the video. But trust me, people, that this new novel will be Toffee's taking you to court, John. That new novel will be available to purchase November, and it's a fucking stress as well. When it's finished and you've all read it, I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you what, it's fucking bleak. It's really funny, but it's really bleak. It's my life, and it's an hard thing to do as a writer. This was what it was like for me at 14, and as I wrote it, I processed some things that I hadn't really processed before. And fuck me, man, I realised where some of my, what should we call them, where some of my character flaws come from. And it's quite difficult. Emma, it's traditionally punctuated. It's not, the 800 page one is a virtually unreadable postmodern picaresque. But if you put the time in, it's brilliant. This one, you can read it. You'll read it in a day, and you'll laugh and you'll cry, and I think you'll like it. Actually, I'm very proud of it. Actually, I'm very proud of it. Anyway, no more novel talk because I can talk about my novels all day. I think we should just have a look at Joanne Guest again.
Can I just say I grew up in the 1980s, Chris, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, oh, without a doubt. Look at Joanne. Look at Joanne Guest.
Also, I grew up in Joanne Guest, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was looking for some pictures. Now this sounds like what that geezer out the Who got done for PDF files, saying I was researching for a novel. But I needed it's an actual story in the book, but I needed to know if a certain model, I'm not going to give you any clues because it will ruin when you read it, was on a cover of a certain magazine in 1986, which is when it's set. And I ended up going on these fucking retro magazine sites, just to see
looked at every model on every magazine cover in 1986, didn't you, Chris?
Pretty much, yeah. And I tell you what, because I don't do porn. The only time I do porn is when my missus wants to. She loves it. She absolutely loves it. She will stick that phone on my chest and ride me till I'm fucking dead. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I don't like hardcore porn. I don't like it. I don't like seeing all that fucking. That's private. I like pretty women in their underwear. And those old covers of like Men's World, Club International, basically the what's it, Paul Raymond stuff. God, that presses my buttons, man. It just and I was sitting, I can't remember why I'm telling you this now.
In the 1970s, Chris, we had Grattan catalogue.
Oh, mate, I grew up in
girdles.
Mate, I found, as we all did, bags of porn in the woods in the 70s, and it was airy Marys. It was just like the bird next door taking her clothes off in black and white, and it was like this is disgusting. Out of focus, like bit of blusher over the black eye. Come on, you will fucking do some more photos. It's horrible stuff, man. Well, you don't have to, do you, John? There are lesbians. Anyway, we're going down. I'm not going down. Emma. I knew you would. I can't believe you haven't. Did I email you about Peach Gardens? I still can't believe you haven't found it. Or maybe I think I emailed you about it and confessed. But anyway. Nah, man, fuck all that, Rollo. Each to their own, obviously, but Dottie's having a laugh at a couple of middle-aged blokes coming to terms with their fading sexuality.
Fair point, Dottie.
Yeah. Nate says, I pinched so many club internationals hidden in newspapers when I was, that's wicked. Just getting it in there. just the Daily Express, please, sir. Oh, I remember buying Asian babes from Asian corner shop. That didn't go down well. You know what? I say I don't do porn. I do still like. John, thank you for those donations. You'll get 2 videos. And Jed, if you are still out there and you just don't know Emma, you looked and you liked, that's why you've dropped. Love it. I've got an erection. I do love a good porn. There was a couple of those club internationals that I kept. Oh yeah, I was talking to a mate about this the other day. What is it with people who... it is the PDF files mainly, but why have they always got like 500,000 videos? And I was talking to a mate about this the other day, and he said he had a mate and his dad had a whole room in the house that was just stacks and stacks of porn mags. Like there must have been thousands. I mean, how many porn mags is that? About 50? He said, you couldn't get in there. There was enough room for the door to open. What is it with collecting it? Like I've got mates who've got like hard drives full of porn. I've never done that. I've never saved. But apart from a couple of club internationals from the early 90s, I got shot of them in the end, though. They were getting a bit warped because I'd have to use them in the bath.
I did have
Right.
some porn on videotape once,
LOAA, good to
but
see
it got
thee.
stolen, and that's a whole different story. But yeah, but no, just
Yeah, they were, Sheila, like, just pretty girls, just sort of near to each other. They didn't have their fit. I saw a porno once when I was on speed where this bird put both her hands into another bird and you could see her moving in her belly. And I was thinking, is this sexy? I just want to see a pretty girl in a swimming costume and too much makeup and a pair of stilettos. I don't know. Glass is making me laugh. Right, people, it's 3 a.m. Is Jedi back? Right. Jedi, do you want me to show that video that you put on your donation or not? Let me know. I've asked about 50 times and I didn't know if you were here. Yeah, I always used to, when I bought a new porn mag, when I got home, I'd start from the back. And I know it's a bit of a joke. It's a joke between me and my mates, but because I don't want to see a naked woman. I like watching them putting all their slutty clothes on. And so I'd start with them Starkus, and then she'd put her heels on, then she'd put her little boob tube on. And then by the end of that photo set, there's two very pretty women in their little mini skirts. And I'll be going, oh, I like to see them getting dressed. I know, what you're meant to do. That's in a novel as well. He said, sorry, Packer's not paying attention. He's thinking too much about Club International. Hello, Spanish. How are you, son? Nice to see you. Turned up a little bit late. Right. So Jedi has said yes loads of times. Okay. Right. He's a good lad, Jed. He's a good lad. So let's do that. Let's see if I can work out how to do it first. I think I can. Look at old Jed. He's grown himself a beard since we last talked. Can I make that any bigger? I can make it a bit bigger. Right, people, you should be able to hear this. I don't know. I've never done. Oh, I have done this before. So this is the video that young Jed. Let me take Spanish Chicken's message off the screen. Good to see you, Spanish. Hope you're well.
No, what?
Oh, why do I keep pressing the wrong button? I'll tell you what, it's because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be up till 8 o'clock tonight. What? I'm on fumes now, people. My right nostril is fully blocked. Look. So I don't know what that means, but I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm out. I'm done. But I do want to show Jed's video and we'll see what he's got to say. Here we go. Look at him. Jed's a good lad. Jed, I won't give too many details, but he done his due diligence. He went to a bank. He got a stocks and shares ISA. He's got his own business. He used to work for another contractor and he got through, I don't want to give too much away because he told me this in a chat, but he one day thought, I don't need to be working for other people. I can set up my own business. And he has, and he's bought his house. Fair play to him, man. I was very impressed talking to him. And I'm going to say this, and I don't want to make him shy, but I think we've talked about this stuff on this channel a lot, and I think a lot of blokes will understand it. He said to me when I spoke to him after I told all that stuff before, he said, I think that's the most compliments I've had in about 10 years. Words to that effect. It's weird, isn't it? Weird world we live in where people just don't say nice things to people. It's weird. Very strange. Anyway, here he is. Let's see what he's got to say.
All right, mate. I just stopped watching Jesse Lee Peterson's Fallen State live to come and watch you talking about Cecily Peterson Fawn State Live. I fucking love that man. I don't know what you would have to say about dialectical materialism. He's far more of an Orphic, as am I. But good stream anyway. See you later.
Oh, Jed, what a lovely bloke he is. Yeah, good fella. Point to that. Fair enough. You look like you've had a hard week's work there, young Jed. I can see that. It looks like one of the videos I send you after the streams when I'm all laid back, like, yeah, hello. And I want to apologise the other day to the people who didn't get their videos for a couple of days. I just fell asleep after the stream. It might be late. These ones might be late too. Toffee said he sounds exactly like Packer and John JP, all Southerners. Yeah, it's called articulation. It's not actually. But at least we can
understand. Say English, Toffee. It's called English.
There you go. I tried to be too clever, didn't I? Thank you, Jed, though, and I hope you're well. I do hope you're well. Right, I'm just going to do one last check over on that I just closed, like a mark. Who's that? I've got a someone didn't want to say who it was. If you want me to say who it was, let me know in the chat. It just says someone. Rollo, you cheeky fucker. The estuary accent or ashtray accent. It's lovely. Oi, I tell you what, Toffee, when I went to Leeds Uni, first night there, so I've moved into my digs, gone out to a boozer in Leeds. I had more violence in Leeds in 2 years than the rest of my life put together. Now, I was only 23, so there was it balanced out after that. First night, I've gone into a boozer on my own. I thought, nice little boozer. Went up to the jump and I went, do us a pint of Guinness, can you, mate? The bloke next to me, about 40 he was. I was 23. He went, do us a pint of Guinness, mate, apples and pears. And I sort of turned around to sort of just, sort of go, yeah. And just as I turned and saw him, he knocked me clean out. First night. And when I come round, I was outside. They took me out. They didn't bring my glass out with me. I was just slumped up against the wall with fucking claret all coming out my nose. First fucking night.
They didn't make you pay for the pint though, did they?
No, they didn't actually. I've never thought of that. He probably just put, yeah, fair enough.
All's fair.
He says, I was working in London 10 years ago. People kept calling me Mickey. I don't know what it meant at the time. Oh, it's rhyming slang for scouts. But it's a bit mockney, that one. It's a bit mockney. But, language grows, language change. But fucking hell. No, he waited till we met up in London before he'd give me a fucking thumb. He'd give me one of them in the forehead. Oh, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, he knew I was a Southerner. My accent used to be a lot more broad than this. I probably went something like, hello, mate, do us a Guinness, can ya? And he went, oh, apples and pears. And I thought, yep. Couldn't believe it.
I haven't had a light and bitter for 30 years.
A light and bitter? I don't even know what that is.
Pale ale and bitter. And you can, as far as I can tell, you can only buy it in London, and I haven't had one for 30 years.
So I didn't live on campus. I lived in a... I turned my house into a grow room. We were growing weed in Leeds. If anyone's red tired, etc. Oi, listen. One of my subscribers has one of my early marketing postcards for Tide, etc. The novel I released when I was 23. They sent me it. But on the back is the review from the director of the ICA. Now, I found out where he works now, and I'm going to send him a copy of the new novel, because he said that first novel, he described it as a genius novel. And he says there's words in it like Dangerfield knows his niche. And he says, I nearly know it off by heart. It's like an extraordinarily it's that first line I can't get. But I want to send him the new novel. But if the geezer that sent me that photo, he's got it on his wall in like in a frame, because it's quite funny, the advert. But on the back is the review. So if whoever it is who sent me that has still got it, email me, chris@chrisdangerfield.com, a photo of the back, so I've got that review. That would be handy. Now, there's another thing. Someone was doing a sponsored run in September, and I was going to say it on a stream, but I've fucked it up because it's too late. But I think he got back to me and said something like he does a bit. He's running 100 miles or something, but he does like 10 miles a week or something. I'll tell you about that next week, and there'll be a link. So there you go. Daniel remembers that story. Yeah, I got robbed for 20 quid. It was. I went to buy some smack in Soho. The geezer just took the money off me and went, "Go on, fuck off." The life of a junkie. Literally didn't give me a bit of glass or anything wrapped up in cling film. Didn't try anything. I went, "You serving?" He went, "Yeah, what are you after?" I said, "I want a 20 a dark." He went, "Yeah, all right." I gave him the 20 quid and he went, "Fuck off." I went, "All right, see ya." Anyway, I go up there next week with a gangster I know who's hard as nails. And I see the geezer and I say to my mate, I go, "See that geezer there, black geezer?" I said, "Last week he took 20 quid off me." He went, "Why don't you go over there and knock him out?" And I went, "Yeah, I think I'll do that, because I'm thinking if I get into a bit of a tangle, my mate will come over and snap his arms off." And I go over there. I go, "Oi, remember me?" And he went, "No." And I went like that to butt him and knocked myself out. I just fell down. I caught him on my eye sort of socket. And he helped me up. That was the funny bit about it. He sort of went, "You all right, mate?" Like lifting me back up. I was like, "Yeah, I'm all right." And I'm looking over at my mate, waiting for him to come over and kick the shit out of him. And he was just laughing his head off. He thought it was the funniest thing in the world. I come back, he went, "You'll be right." He went, "Come on." He went, "It's not your thing, is it?" And I was like, "No, not really, obviously." About an hour later, he threw a pint of Guinness over Glyn from Howard's Way, who was wearing a white suit. I said, "No violence when I take you to my swanky Soho members clubs." He went, "No, there'll be no trouble." Took an hour. Anyway, I don't know in the chat. Someone bought a future. If anyone in the chat wants to, thank you, Alex. I mean, we're down to 48 people. It's over 3 hours I've been gibbering now. I've got to go. If I don't go, I won't get this book finished. People, I know there's only 46 of you left. There won't be as many videos and there won't be as many streams. Like the missus is away. I'll try and do a stream tomorrow night, and I'll try and do a stream Sunday. Might be an early doors one Sunday, but I've got to get this novel written, and I just can't do them both and work. You can understand that. So that's why. But the channel ain't going nowhere. I'm not slowing down. It's just a dip while I get this novel finished, all right? So there you go. All right, let me find a bit of music. Oh, I'll tell you what we haven't had for a while. Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do something a little bit. I'm going to play a sad household song that I never usually play. I'm going to play an household song that I never usually play. How about that? It's not one that people like.
It's okay. So only 4 of us left.
Yeah. Why would I go with that? I'll just go with the one that people like. Look after yourselves, people. Packer, I'll talk to you in a minute if you want. Give Packer some love in the chat, can you, people? I'll see you in a minute, mate. Do you want to say anything to the remaining scrubs?
Yeah. Obviously, thanks for having us. It's been wonderful.
he's hilarious. Just nothing. Look, I'll see you in a minute, Packer. He went, yep.
All the usual shit.
See you later, mate. I'll see you in a minute. We have a little debrief. It's quite funny because it's just me talking more at Packer. the stream hasn't stopped for Packer yet. It's quite funny. Here we go. I know what we'd do. It's crowd pleaser time. So here we go. Share screen. Hang on. I haven't done any of the thank yous. I want to thank everyone who donated. I want to thank Packer. I can't stream without him anymore. I'm addicted to the damn stuff. I want to thank all of you, like the 38 who are still here. But anyone who's watching this when it's not live, you can donate in the comments. You know that. Oh, like the stream. That'll be 38 likes. Yeah, this is a song. And I want to just thank you all. I love this channel. I'm sorry I haven't been as busy on it as I used to be, but I will be. But I've got to get this novel written. Cut us a little bit of slack for the next month, can you? I will be streaming. I'll do one a week, and I'll try and get a couple of videos out. But I want to be a writer, so I've really got to go for it now. That's the reality of it. I don't want to die and not giving it a proper hit, proper shot. Do you know what I mean? I've had plenty of proper hits. I promise you that. This one's called New Shoes. Ta-da.
I'm stupid, I'm lazy, but in the discotheque I still look crazy. Love me, baby, I only tell lies cause the truth escapes. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. I'm knackered, I'm fading, but in the right light I still look vaguely human. Happy it won't be long before we cave in. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. You can get the blues. Don't worry about my heroin addiction, it's only slight. I need you, love me, and I'll feel the same again tonight. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blue.
Thank you, Emma. Very kind, darling. I bet they are magical. Will do. I'm pulling your plug. Sorry. Hello, Linda, darling. Hope you're all right, my love. Right. I think I stopped my end. I think it was still playing your end. That's a 3.5 hour fucking stream. Yeah. I just wanted to mention that actually. If you don't know the Beta Band, people, go and check them out. The 3 EPs is probably their best. I would also check out King Biscuit Time, which is pretty much the same band. Hang on a minute. Packer dropped a 10-bit. Packer, you already give me a 20-bit. That's very kind of you. And thank you, Emma, for that one. Going to see the Beta Band. Me and my mate, Wev, we rugby tackled the Beta Band at the Guildford Festival. They weren't that happy about it. They had a go at us. So when they went on, we threw mud at them. But we like them. We do like the Beta Band. There's Emma, do you know what's that lovely song? Well, Squares is the best, isn't it? I see the demons on, but they didn't make a sound. Wah, 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 wah. What's that one? It's the King Biscuit Time one. A little white in a little while. I fell through the gap. Brown sea. Oh, I might have to have a little listen to them while I don't have a shower because it's too late. Yeah, check out the Beta Band, people. The 3 EPs is a good entry point. I've got to go. I'll just keep talking because I've got no energy left. So it's bye. See ya. Right.